God damn it. Alrighty. Give me a moment. I'm finishing up some wings.
Welcome back to Brooklyn, Michigan, 70 miles west of Detroit.
Detroit!
Started, but first we need to go down to Victor Lane for ceremonies.
At this time, we ask that you please rise, remove your hats, as the United States Marine Corps Color Guard presents our nation's colors.
I hate eating. Well, I love wings, but I hate how messy they are.
Invocation. Please welcome Pastor Kyle Metapetigan from One.
Now that's a last name.
Church.
Let's pray.
Metapetigan.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for today and this amazing opportunity that we have to witness the end result of all the hard work of so many people for our entertainment. We thank you for the cars and the drivers and the crews and all the people who work behind the scenes to make this race happen. Father, we pray for the protection of these drivers and crews.
How would a fourth amen?
God, we thank you for the racing associations, go-kart clubs.
Get my stream
short
on the
tracks
phone
that
if I
have fed
can.
talent into this beautiful sport that we have today. And I pray for my dad and all of those who are racing.
Nobody gives a
short
fuck about
tracks
your
tonight.
dad, bro.
Again, Father, we thank you for bringing us here.
I want to be the guy at the racetrack that's heckling the prayer. So nobody cares about your fucking dad, bro.
Of these drivers and these crews.
Shut
Thank you
up.
for what we have done and will do in our lives. And we pray this in your Son, Jesus Christ's holy and precious name. And all God's people said, amen.
How would a fourth amen?
With us
Boy, these
today
wings are
to
messy.
perform the Canadian National Anthem. Please welcome Michigan International.
Don't worry, I'm doing the
Speedway's
usual
very
jumping
own
through 10 hoops to get the
Lisa
YouTube stream up on my phone so I can see your comments. Because it always has to take for fucking ever.
Our home and native land.
Hey, Michael. Oh, Michael, that $10 you sent me last night, I used it to pay for these wings. So thank you, Michael. Michael kind of bought me wings today. I didn't use that $10 last night, but I cashed it in today. Why do you open with the Canadian anthem? You should save that for last. It's better. Sing the U.S. anthem first, then do the Canadian anthem. Save the best for last.
God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
I had to have something to eat today before dinner tonight because I was starving.
Here today to honor America with the singing of our national anthem. Please welcome the Livonia Youth Choir.
I saw Carson Elledge complaining. They wouldn't let me use the infield tunnel to get to the infield because I don't have proof of vaccination. Good, go the fuck home. Go sit up in the stands. Is this really what it's coming to? Yes. Even for spoiled racing rich kids. So, they did not apply PJ1. They applied the resin material that they used at Nashville Super Speedway that made those races so good. So we'll see if we can get Old Michigan back with resin, not PJ1. So I'm very happy about that. Nashville was a good race, so I'm all for trying it at Michigan. I don't care if Biden resigns or not. As long as the orange turd never comes back.
Great job by the Livonia Youth Choir. Drivers should climb aboard. They start those motors in a moment.
As I try to maneuver and hit the mute button on my remote without getting sauce all over it. Sorry about the truck race stream last night. I was just not feeling it. It's been a long, hard, boring week, and I told you Sheldon Creed was going to win. Even though there was a lot of chaos in that race. Man, Michael, that was the best $10 you ever gave me. Got me these. Oh, yeah, Deegan got her best finish last night. I looked up and was like, oh, look at that. Haley Deegan got her best finish. A lot of playoff guys had trouble. I saw John Hunter had problems, but he ended up with a decent finish. We got a lap 15 competition caution, really? And who's in the 8 car today? Hey, Major. Hope you're having a good day. I'm having the best day I've had in a couple weeks. And I'm about to watch the best series of NASCAR race on one of my favorite tracks without PJ1. So, DFS, I think I'm off till at least Thursday, but at that point, why should I even work Friday? Might as well just take the whole week. So, got another week of sitting at home. Kyle Busch uploaded a really cool video to his YouTube channel delving into his history in the Xfinity Series, and it said part 1, so I guess a part 2's coming. You guys should check that out if you get a chance. I feel great, Major. I feel human. Michael helped. He pretty much paid for these wings. And I'm not looking forward to getting back to work because nobody wants to work, least of all me. But I really do look forward to making money again. I was on a roll making money before I got COVID and had to sit at home.
Michigan, the New Holland, 250. Let's get down to the
Excuse me, I'm going to go wash the fucking wing grease off my hands. I'll be right
It's
back.
well known that Noah Gragson comes into this race winless on the season, but with some consistent finishes recently, a top 10 and then a top 5 last week. This team is gaining momentum, and what a perfect place to take it. The last time he raced here, Noah Gragson finished second. He told me if there's a place that we're going to get in victory lane, it could definitely be here at the high-speed Michigan Oval.
Parker, Justin Allgaier has never won here at the Michigan International Speedway. Best finish, 4th. Last time they raced here, 5th. So what can Michigan do for him today? Well, it can provide this playoff-bound team with a little confidence, a little momentum. And if they can win today, well, they'd be downright dangerous, Marty.
Daniel Hemrick is tired of the talk about never winning in the Xfinity Series. 9 times he has finished second, including here a couple of years ago. I asked him a moment ago, I said, does today feel like today? He told me, honestly, it does. He said, we have been so good at the intermediates this year. And remember the last intermediate race, Atlanta. He had a duel with his teammate Kyle Busch. Looked like he had him beat.
All right, guys, I'm back.
Got wrecked very late in the race.
So, today's bet is Daniel Hemrick. Ty Gibbs and Austin Cindric are the favorites. I had to dig a little deep, and I said, give me Hemrick. I thought about picking Noah. I thought about betting on Noah, but I don't want to have to cheer for Noah. So I went with Hemrick. Might as well put my money on somebody likable. So go Daniel Hemrick. And then Michael will have paid for all of my wings because the wings were like $17.40 something. I used Michael's 10 and I had to pay the $7.49. So if Hemrick wins, that covers the wings and I will have essentially gotten wings for free. So Daniel Hemrick, complete my purchase, please. Michael, I should be, well, I was in the midst of my busy season of work, and then COVID hit all three of us at my job, so I'm happy, though, because we're getting towards the fall, hopefully into some fucking cool weather, because working in the heat sucks, and I was putting in a lot of long, hot days, even though I was working inside, you know, it's still going to be hot when you're fucking up, moving around, doing what we do, so I was sweating balls constantly. I guess I'm gonna watch this race with you guys, and then watch the Falcon, at least the first half of the Falcons preseason game tonight. Falcons are playing their starters for maybe a half, or at least the entire first quarter, so it'll be worth watching. The Falcons have been having joint practices with the Dolphins all week, and it's been going viral how Calvin Ridley is just abusing Xavier Howard. And I got a lot of love for Xavier Howard. That dude's a beast. But Calvin Ridley's been working him out in those joint practices with the Falcons and the Dolphins. So that's pretty cool. Calvin Ridley practicing social distancing by just leaving Xavier Howard the dust. I'd like to see some of that in the game tonight. Give me some confidence going into this season. September 9th is sneaking up on us. And we'll be watching good, real football again. And I can't wait. And I'll be watching it with you guys because we're going to stream it. I never expected last year that streaming football would be so fun and that we'd do it so often, but we did. It was something I was like, is anybody really going to want to do that? And most of you guys stayed and hung out with me through football season after NASCAR ended, so we're going to do it some more this year. A lot of big prime time. Or obviously, early in the season, it's going to be mostly primetime games, but I'm pretty sure the first 3 Sundays of NFL I'll be able to stream because the race will be on Saturday, and I'm probably going to Bristol. I'm still kind of planning on going to Bristol. And yes, Brian Vickers won one of my favorite races here, the 2009. No. Yes, that was the one, Vickers in 09. All I remember is Dale Jr. finished third, and I thought he was going to win on fuel mileage, but at that point it was 2009. And anybody who knows about Dale Jr.'s 09 season knows that third place felt like a win. So the fact that Jr. finished third that day, I was like, yay. I was thinking of the Xfinity race, too, where Brad Keselowski won when Vickers and Kyle Busch got bitchy with each other. That was a good one. Suarez's first win here was a good one. Who gives a fuck about Kyle Busch winning a fucking Xfinity race? We're due for a good shit show in Xfinity. I think today could be the day. I have high expectations for this race. It's the 54-22 show. The more things change, the more they stay the same. 54 versus 22. Can you guys believe that I had COVID and watched AJ Allmendinger win a cup race last week? These are wild times we're living in.
All right, let's take a look at the start.
And I'm thirsty. Give me one. Well, actually, I want to see the starting grid. Who's in the 8? Front row, Cindric, Allmendinger, Haley Gregson, Allgaier, Burton, Harrison, that is, Hemrick, Riley Herbst. They were bragging on Riley Herbst getting decent finishes and making gains in the points while neglecting the fact that Michael Annette's still not here. So yeah, Herbst looks a lot better now that Michael Annette's not in the car. Jeremy Clements, Jim Burton, Alex LeBay, Josh Williams, Landon Castle, Sam Mayer's in the 8 car. Could be a potential upset. Josh Berry in the 1 also could be an upset. The 1 car is good here at Michigan. Even with Michael Annette driving it, it's been good here. I'm going to grab a drink.
Keep an eye on him. Jones coming from the back here. See, trying to turn his season around with some changes in that organization. Jeffrey Earnhardt back there on row 15. And a little follow back. Bubba Wallace, row 18. He's going to be in that 61 car. Watch him early. He put some laps on the board. It'll be fun watching him work traffic. All right, Jeff, let's see if we can dial up driver Justin Haley.
All right, Steve tried this last week 3 times. It didn't work. Let's see if I can make it work. Hey, Justin, this guy's up in the booth. You got us? All right, buddy, some changes to the race.
So remember,
today. Expecting that to make a difference?
no PJ1. The track is still black from the last time they used PJ1, but they did not apply it. They put that resin shit from Nashville on it. And they just pointed out something I didn't realize until they pointed it out, that it's been a while since we've seen the Xfinity cars on a track that's 1.5 miles or bigger, on a high-banked oval or something. So, and Xfinity hasn't raced at Michigan since 2019. They didn't have a race here last year for the Xfinity Series, which is sad, and was sad because I love Michigan, especially with these cars. And once again, I am on the NBC Sports app, so my feed is probably going to be a little behind compared to the leaderboard and what you guys may be seeing. Blame my cable company. I want to see IndyCar at Michigan, I want to see IndyCar at Loudon, and I want to see IndyCar on the Charlotte Roval so I can go see those cars in person.
Now let's go down to Park Clearman, see what's happening on pit road.
We're going to get another great onboard here for the big boy onboard of Riley Herbst.
Oh, Riley Herbst. Everybody brag on him real quick. Bubba Wallace is in the 61 today.
About survival. He told me he just wants to complete all the laps today because the last time he came here in Xfinity car, he crashed a car.
Josh Berry in the 1 car for Michael Annette. Austin Dillon's in this race, I think, or is it Tyler Reddick? I didn't see. Oh, it was Reddick. Tyler Reddick's in this race.
If you look at the points, bets, odds, Austin Cindric certainly one of the favorites, along with Ty Gibbs today. You get to ride on board with Austin Cindric with a Ford Performance onboard camera. But Austin told me this morning, Michigan has been a tough place for us. No top 10s in either race here. He said, we have our work cut out for us. The intermediate tracks, like here at Michigan, have been our biggest weak point of the year.
Marty, Michael Annette is still healing from a leg injury, from surgery to repair that. And today, Josh Berry, the 30-year-old from Tennessee, will be jumping behind the wheel. Josh
Wouldn't be surprised to see Josh Berry or Sam Mayer pull an upset here.
He hasn't been to every track. He said, here's another new track, guys. Just remember.
And yes, Josh Berry's in the Cup race tomorrow, filling in for Corey LaJoy.
Should be a good day for Josh. He's already won once this year, guys.
Got to be pretty interesting for a lot of these guys going into the corner for the first time, never had been to this racetrack, what kind of grip they're going to have.
Yeah, Bubba's in the car that Austin Hill usually runs.
Series, we've been running on road courses. Everybody's kind of programmed on how to call those races. Now we're back to ovals. Talk about this race breakdown.
Well, it's one of my favorite tracks. I know it's one of your favorite tracks. We're up here in the Irish Hills of Michigan.
Why would it be one of Dale Jr.'s favorite racetracks? Oh, yeah, because we won here twice in the Cup Series and won here in the Xfinity Series. Spun out, two-faced Carl Libbards to win that Xfinity race here. And I'm not sorry for it.
2, 3, 4 wide, big toes, big drafts down both the front and the back straightaway. And the race itself is going to be broken up. It's a 125-lap race.
Competition caution at lap 15 that nobody will pit for because the first stage is only 30 laps.
So we're definitely going to have to see a fuel stop somewhere in that final stage, and we expect the competition yellow somewhere in that first stage around lap 50. Well, when we look at this racetrack, we see that darker colored asphalt up high in the corners. And people would think that might be traction compound. Now, they had used that here in the past, but, Jeff, this year we've got resin on the racetrack. You see a car working in on that resin up high, and that is Tyler Reddick, one of the first guys.
Look at Tyler Reddick under the pace laps up here at the high line, weaving back and forth, trying to warm it up if he can.
Great results there. What can we expect?
Yeah, I think Josh Berry was in the Dover race earlier this year, I think. Yeah, he was in the 77.
The hopes is that it does create an outside groove. And the races long ago,
I want to say Josh Berry drove the 77.
Race against the wall. white line. They're constantly trying to find a way to get that groove back. So this resin works so well at Nashville. Why not try it here? Give it a shot and see what happens. See what they can learn to apply into the future, not only for this race, but other racetracks as well.
See, I think that multiple groove is important because they're going so fast, it allows the driver to kind of get out of the arrow wake. Right, like you love the toe down the front stretch and back stretch. I want to follow you. When I get down the corner, I want to have a chance to not follow you. I need to get out there and find that downforce. But guys, I don't think we can talk enough about...
Michael, I'm thinking about taking a chance on Kevin Harvick tomorrow. Even though they just flat out have not shown the speed, I don't know.
But I didn't see him jumping on the
I got some thinking to do about tomorrow. It's either going to be William Byron or Kevin Harvick for me, most likely. I feel like Truex is due for a win at Michigan, though, and he's one of the favorites. I think the favorites are like Larson, Truex, Kyle Busch. But today, Daniel Hemrick, get your first win, buddy, please. And yeah, Josh Berry will be full-time in the 8 car next year. Well-deserved. Good to see guys can still somehow get an opportunity.
But it will be interesting to see if anybody goes up the racetrack to try to find some more speed, some more grip, more throttle. Cars rolling through turns 3 and 4.
It's hot out there. It's slick. Even with the resin down, it's not really worked in yet. I don't expect this track to have a lot of grip. It is weird talking about an oval like this after just weeks and weeks of road courses and shit. So Gregson wins. I'll get 2 picks tomorrow. Okay, well, I'd hate to see Gregson win, but I almost picked him today. But here we go. Got a busy day, this race and a Falcons game after this. Green flag. Back at Michigan in Xfinity for the first time since 2019. And look, they start fanning out mid-pack. Allmendinger, Cindric side by side into one. The outside line, I think, should be the way to go here on these restarts. And it is. Cindric sideways drifting. Allmendinger takes the lead. Everybody checks up behind Cindric as Allmendinger drives away. Gregson slides off a 2. Thought Gregson was going to knock the wall down. Cindric in the sucker hole. Justin Haley into 3rd with Harrison Burton right behind him. Boy, there is no grip on that bottom. No grip. The 20 and the 18 at separate points almost spun out right here. Right in the middle. Cindric 3 wide with Harrison Burton and Allgaier. Herbst just about, oh man. Herbst cut across the nose of Sam Mayer and almost fucking wrecked himself. Yeah. Well, AJ's got himself another 13 laps to himself. Yeah, I don't sense a lot of grip in this racetrack right now, except right in that middle line, right in the very middle. I just don't know what it is. Ever since these new repaves, you just can't work them in. Michigan and Charlotte should both be well worn in by now, but neither one of them are. Allmendinger gave plenty of room to Cindric when Cindric got sideways on lap 1. That was just no grip.
No, thank you. I mean, that's sideways to Martinsville.
Cindric gathering it back up now. He's going for 4th. Passing Noah down the back until, well, Noah's going to get this draft from Harrison Burton. But Cindric carries it into 3 and makes the pass. These small spoilers don't create much of a draft effect until you get a bunch of cars in a line, really. Excuse me. Ty Gibbs has snuck into 2nd place through all the chaos. Ty Gibbs is the favorite.
Experience from yesterday's ARCA race. He won that race. He drove into turn 1 like
yes, Ty Gibbs won another ARCA race yesterday. Tim Richmond in the ARCA series broke his wrist, I think, because guys think it's okay to wreck each other at nearly 200 miles an hour at Michigan. Bubba Wallace is the biggest mover. Sorry, Boomers. Bubba and Josh Berry had to start at the back. Cindric's car's coming to him now. We're 5 laps in. Cindric's obviously got a good car, and he takes the air off the left rear corner of the 11, makes a pass. third place for Cindric.
As well, just keep hitting the 11 car, but they will make the pass.
Maybe next time he'll pick outside line on the restart.
He's checked out about 2 seconds.
And A.J. Allmendinger's got a 2-second lead.
Restart. Everybody else was really struggling. Use that to his advantage. Now everybody's trying to run him back down.
Another driver we mentioned in the starting lineup, that's Josh Berry, filling in for Michael Annette in that red and white number 1 at the bottom of the screen. Triple duty for Josh Berry this weekend. Never had
Riley Herbst started in the top 10, has dropped to 16th place.
last night at St. Louis in the Xfinity car today in Michigan. He'll be in a cup car again tomorrow, so a lot of racing for Josh.
Great news for him and your team, Junior Motorsports. Full time next year for Josh Berry. Very popular move. People within the sport.
We're 10 laps from the competition caution, about to be 9.
Late models done a great job. He's done a great
I'm
job
not
driving
surprised that
the
Gregson hasn't won a race yet this year, Michael. I'm not surprised at all. He's a tool. I'm a little surprised Hemrick hasn't, although he got wrecked by Kyle Busch at Atlanta, so that wasn't his fault. Hemrick should have a win by now. Gregson should have won Homestead.
I never would have believed that I was signed full-time for 2022, but he's making the transition.
So they're both leading in the shoulda, woulda, coulda category, because as far as other guys who haven't won yet this year, I can't think of any that should have, other than Hemrick and Gregson. Hemrick's my pick. He's running 10th right now, behind Brett Moffitt.
But he's a racer, and you see right here, I mean, that's not a rookie-type move, right? Moves in the inside, leaves a little space for the side so he doesn't get loose. Now he's going to chase to the bottom, get away from the 4, and complete the pass.
And one thing to say, smart decision for Junior Motorsports. Hey, you're driving full-time. May as well fill in for this race. That's going to help you for next year. It's a whole other thing for a cook team to call a young...
Josh Berry is primed and ready to be great. Top 5, Allmendinger, Gibbs, Cindric, Haley, Gregson. And I'll be right back. I got to go grab my food. Yeah, Michael, the wings were just the appetizer. Thank you for buying the appetizer. The real main course is hamburger helper for the first time in God knows when. Even though it's poor people food, it's something different that I haven't had in a while. Which has been like the greatest challenge of being stuck in quarantine, is trying to think of what to eat. Because you end up eating the same fucking shit, which I do anyway. Like quarantine's the reason I'm eating the same shit all the time. I always end up eating the same stuff. So yeah, had some wings and now I got some hamburger helper. Lots of meat in this diet. I'd never give up meat. I don't want to go vegan and look like a flaccid penis. I want to be healthier and stay in good shape, and I am, but I will not go vegan. I'll end up looking like Michael Waltrip does now, but before I'm 30. Not that he's vegan. Michael Waltrip just looks very saggy. Daytona next week. I wish I was going, but maybe next year. Maybe next year I'll go to the summer race at Daytona. I want to go to the Daytona 500, but I'd hate not streaming that with you guys. I'd really hate missing out on that. We'll see. One day I'll get to the Daytona 500. I'll probably just go to the summer race next year. That cutoff race before the playoffs is insane. Making that be Daytona was one of the best decisions NASCAR could have ever made. And I'm really looking forward to watching next week. We're back 12 laps in. Still Allmendinger, Gibbs, and Cindric. About a second and a half back to Gibbs and about The second behind him is Cindric, so there's about an even break between the top 3 cars. We're 3 away from the comp yellow. Yeah, you hear that? A.J. Allmendinger won the Cup race. Just say it because it sounds so good. A.J. Allmendinger won the Cup race last week. Mikey should run Daytona in February on the trucks. A lot of cloud cover over turns 3 and 4, it looks like. The sun kind of disappeared. 2 to go until the competition calls him.
Interview with Austin Cindric. Didn't he tell you he wanted to start on the top? He has choice because he got the pole position, so he has choice. Well, why did he start on the bottom? Listen to this radio conversation. He explains why.
The race audio loud enough, guys? Can you hear it good?
There you go, Steve. Sometimes when you're communicating things from the pit box, you need to pay attention to what the driver is doing out on the racetrack. So they were communicating about pit road speed and how that went. And here it is. He's starting on the bottom, and he made the wrong choice.
Well, I could have told you after watching Michigan for the last 8 years, you want to pick the outside line if you're the leader.
The original start, the choose is only in effect for the pole sitter. So the one guy in the field that could have picked the spot was Austin Cindric. He was on the radio and forgot to pick.
All right, we're on lap 15.
Give me this? Are you going to really let me have this?
Field's pretty spread out now.
The bottom won't get much better. I mean, it's...
That top 3 is definitely in a league of their own. I think Allmendinger just got away because of the dust up with Cindric on lap 1. I think Gibbs and Cindric have got the entire field covered, but Allmendinger's enjoying that clean air.
Better as this race goes on. Just, with the choose rule, how many cars do you start behind that outside?
Daniel Hemrick up to 9th place. He just passed Brett Moffitt. And here we come to finish lap 15.
We expect to have a competition yellow on or around this lap right here. NASCAR will put it out, and the team's going to have to decide if they want to pit or not. With only
And we have a caution.
It's going to be very difficult to come to pit road. There's the yellow.
Turn my TV up all the way. I won't be able to hear myself think.
16 of Allmendinger.
Now that we got a yellow, I'm going to enjoy this delicious hamburger helper. This stuff is hot.
Allmendinger's got to be feeling pretty good right now. Won that race last weekend for a relatively new race team, colleague racing, and then leading this race today. A couple weeks so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably feeling pretty good, but watching those guys close up in that rearview mirror, Jeff, you know that you want to work on that race car to get an opportunity in the future. Here's some
Robert, if you're here, look away. They're showing Hamlin, Briscoe, and Allmendinger from last week.
Chase Briscoe cut the course a little, and NASCAR said that's a no-no. Penalized him. There's what happened off of going into turn 10. Briscoe sends the 11 out of the lead.
Now, I never thought I'd say this, but the door bumper clear guys made some good points and changed my mind. Because on door bumper clear, they ripped into Chase Briscoe. And you know what? The more I think about it, rightfully so, I'm like, Briscoe's so full of shit. Oh, I've never wrecked anybody on purpose. I never would. That's not. It's like, yeah, but you did. Briscoe should have gotten an even harsher penalty for what he did to Denny Hamlin. So, Robert, if you're here, I'm on your side. Briscoe should have gotten really penalized after the race for what he did to Hamlin.
So now what I'm waiting to see is
Because he was penalized and the team knew it,
but can that momentum carry through?
but chose not to tell Briscoe.
Can that Cup Series win, that huge win in Indianapolis for this organization?
It came across the radio that we've got a penalty, but apparently that was on the separate channel from him because they didn't want to tell him yet.
Considered a title contender. He wins, or he has won. He's in the playoffs. We know he's there, but can he go head-to-head with Cindric as we see a bunch of cars stay out? Not a big surprise. We're not seeing a lot of action on pit road. As I mentioned, only 3 sets of tires.
I thought he was a contender when the season started.
Pit road is open. We got some back markers pitting,
That was my question. Could he top Austin
including
Cindric?
Riley Herbst and Ryan Sieg.
Coming down to pit road, a lot of these guys decided to stay out and pit at the stage break, Marty.
Here comes Riley Herbst down pit road. Who said his car was extremely loose. Richard Boswell deciding to bring him down. Adjustments only here. The interesting thing is, if you took fuel and tires here, you can connect that to the end of stage 2 where you could stay out through both stages, but most teams deciding to stay on the racetrack, and there's those adjustments we talked about for the 98.
We'll have to see how that works out for those guys. We'll be right back.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, staying out or taking 2 tires is going to win you the Cup race tomorrow. I wouldn't be worried about tires in the least tomorrow on the Cup side. Because what are those 2 words that I hate to hear? Dirty air. Dirty air is the name of the game tomorrow. You know it. Just hopefully the grooves will widen out and we'll get some good racing out of it. This race here should tell us a lot by the end if the groove's going to get widened out or not. And I think there should have been Xfinity practice this weekend because hadn't raced here in Xfinity since 2019. There's a lot of drivers that have never been here before, and it's such a fast, high-speed racetrack, so big, I think practice would have been good. Do I think Hurst will keep that car next year? Tough to say, Michael. Do you think of anybody with the money to come through to take it away from him? We all know he should be one and done, but will he be? Wish Robert was here. I was going to ask him if he learned anything watching Washington play last night. I didn't see any of that game. I don't know how long they played their starters. Oh, Michael, you got a good point about Sheldon Creed. He deserves a shot. I know Joe Burrow didn't play last night for Cincinnati.
Do you think NASCAR should be looking at Chase Briscoe's radio communication?
Yes, I think NASCAR should get into it.
Just make that simple enforcement of the rules and say you guys got to stay on the track.
I do not like refereeing and racing.
I know it's hard to police, but that's their damn job. I'm going to make them make the call.
Would you rather see them on the oval or back on the road course?
We can't be so frozen with fear that we don't try some stuff. That's NASCAR America Motor Mouth Mondays and Wednesdays, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern, streaming live on NBC Sports Channel and on Peacock. It's got Jeff Burton saying some cuss words.
He was fired up on Monday. I'm going to tell you, who else fired up? The fans. And the show was great because of the fans. We had probably 12 or 15 callers, and that's the key. You fans out there, you can call in and give us your thoughts on the race.
NASCAR can penalize whoever they want, but they love that Chase Briscoe spun Denny Hamlin last week. Look at how much we've talked about it.
They call in live interaction.
They love it.
It is so much fun. So call in because we will take almost any question.
Yeah, viewers can sign up for Peacock, peacocktv.com.
Oh, we're going to suspend Matt Kenseth for 2 races for killing Joey Logano, but then we're going to fucking talk about it and make commercials with it for the next 25 years.
Drove by his pit stall, and pit stall is one of the, his pit stall is number 36, I believe, and I never liked an early pit stall because in my mind, I'm thinking, man, I'm way down pit road. I'm not early. I would drive by those. You wouldn't even pick me anymore after a few times.
I argued enough. Finally, I said, you know the only way to fix this? I just pick the other end. One of the first races I started driving the 31 car, quit driving the 99 car, I drove right by the 31 box and almost drove straight into the 99 box. All right, so we
Jeff
got
Burton.
this choose code, right? Everybody chose where they wanted to go. It's really,
You think they should go with Heineke, Michael?
in 6th.
I don't know, man.
On the inside, essentially in 3rd position. Choosing
Something
that
about the
side,
allure
there's
of
30.
Fitz magic.
He was running 5th. He's lined up in 8th.
It's hard to say no to that till he throws 5 interceptions or something.
Give up. Have to see how this works out.
DFS, I'm with you. I love Matt Kenseth.
Rolling up to the restart zone.
All right, here we go. Lap 20. We got 10 to go in stage 1. Allmendinger, Gibbs, and Cindric lined up 1, 2, 3 on the outside line. Gibbs goes 3 wide, 4 wide, with Allmendinger, Cindric, and Haley on the bottom. Allmendinger's in the sucker hole. And Cindric should come out of this with the lead, although Gibbs can't hang on that quarter panel with Cindric. Cut him off, Cindric. You're clear, clear, clear. Cindric clears Gibbs off of 2. And Allmendinger stays in 3rd. He slips back into 3rd. I thought we'd come off of 2 and Allmendinger would be like 10th. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The 48 just got into the back of Bubba. I thought he was going to spin him. Oh, we got a spinner in the back. 90 car. Heavy damage. Backed her into the wall. Caution's out. Caesar Baccarella.
A lot of damage on Caesar's car.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. It's gonna bring
Josh Berry's in the top 10. Well, he's 11th. The score monitor says he's 11th. Was Kenseth my second? I don't know if he was my second favorite, but I always really liked Matt Kenseth.
I didn't see exactly what happened in 90, but
He was always a driver I could rely on to beat drivers that I hated. You know, the Kyle Busches and the Joe Logano's of the world.
Three, okay, he's pretty high. Right side's in the darker stuff. Oh, he just gets loose on entry.
How do you bust your ass being that slow?
Not enough room to save it. Backs it in the outside wall.
I always like when I see a back marker spin out by themselves. How do you bust your ass going that slow?
What kind of grips up there in that high side? Yeah, heavy damage. It's going to be hard to repair. At these high speeds, aerodynamics, that deck lid, spoiler, quarter panel, so important. We'll just have to see how the team can do. But that restart, what? I mean, it was chaos. I don't know what happened either to Allmendinger. Like, I thought he was accelerating pretty well. Now, all of a sudden, it just missed a spot or, missed a shift or something. Dave, what are you hearing?
Yep, we can help you out here with a little radio. Listen here.
Sorry about that. I screwed that up. My room is zero wide. Damn it. Yeah, so on the pace lap, when I was practicing getting in the fourth, it was kind of just sticking.
Gibbs made the aggressive move and put Allmendinger in a bad spot, but hey, AJ's still 3rd. He could have been a lot worse. Man, fuck Joey Logano fans, dude. Fuck Joey Logano and fuck Joey Logano fans. We don't listen to them. They don't count. Like CM Punk said in that one promo when he was a heel in WWE, you don't count. Allmendinger had a great restart here, but boy, the 54 must have just lagged back and got a huge push from the 22. And then he took it. And then Cindric shot through the middle and got the lead. And was able to hold off Gibbs, and the 90 car spun out.
Clearly, AJ Allmendinger, one of the best road racers we have in all of NASCAR, knows how to shift.
Yeah.
So it's not, he said it's on me. Because he's saying, I know I had a problem.
So AJ fucked up shifting up on that restart because he looked like he had a great launch at first.
I can deal with it. I got to change what I normally do to make this work. That's hard to do, though, because you know how important these restarts are. You got to just pause just a second as you're going from 3rd to 4th to make sure it's a clean shift, which ought to be a slower than normal shift.
Well, it's right. Like, we talked a lot about the 16s issue and the 54 of Ty Gibbs going to the top, but there's 22 of Austin Cindric stuck right through the middle. Got a couple cars here on pit road. Looks like Justin Allgaier and a few others coming down to the attention of the crews. Dave.
Yeah, not really sure why at this point for Allgaier. We did hear a strategy play.
Allgaier pitting.
Possibly get to the end of the next
pit here, stay out the end of the stage. That's what Allgaier and Jeb Burton appear to be doing. Maybe Bubba Wallace as well. He's on pit road.
As is the 10 car for Jeb Burton. That would be the plan. Remember, they've only got 3 sets laying behind the wall today to put fresh Goodyear rubber on.
That's the plan for sure. 7 to go in this stage. You expect 1 or 2 more.
Michael Waltrip explodes through the booth wall. This is why I love stage racing. You can pit now and stay out at the end of the stage. It's so exciting. DFS, I was so distracted last night. That's why I gave up on the truck race, because CM Punk showed up on AEW, and all I wanted to do was watch that. So I was like, fuck the truck race. So I guess AEW is now appointment television for me. I really, excuse me, still eating, really admire what AEW does I just haven't been a religious wrestling watcher in several years, but I'm going to try to commit to AEW now. CM Punk has a lot to do with it. CM Punk put my ass in that seat, buddy. Talk about moving the needle. Maybe one day I'll care enough about wrestling again to like live react to an AEW pay-per-view or something. I'll be able to talk again soon when I get this mouthful of food out of my mouth. Be right back. Michael, that's a great question. Who will take over the 11 next year? Maybe somebody like Sheldon Creed. Rick Collig, or Matt Collig, whatever his name is, seems to be able to put whoever the fuck he wants in his race cars, which makes me wonder where to get his money and is it legitimate? Or is he like a DC Solar kind of guy?
Chase.
Excuse me.
Chase Elliott documentary. We're really excited about that. This Wednesday, let's take a look. Well, where are we at now?
Oddly enough, this is Elliott Road. It's his first cup race car.
Thing's probably got like 6 pounds of Bondo in it.
Welcome to the pool room. Says
Check it
this
out.
is it.
Do you know that was his first job?
No, he did not say that.
Is this top hobbies? Teaching my dad how to do it like last summer. How to surf. Are you ready, dude?
Yeah.
We'll get you drunk on.
Facebook out there and runs a totally different line. Runs faster than all of them. I don't say. I mean, what do you say?
That's a Bill. Then you keep directing him, and I will support you guys. You can immediately see.
Why do people hate that Chase Elliott's actually good?
Really high. I remember being the first one to the car. I didn't even know what to say. Just for him to have somebody to vent to.
From Dawsonville, Georgia, Chase Elliott is a NASCAR Cup Series champion.
It's a great way to learn who Chase Elliott is. I don't think a lot of us know as much as we'd like to about him. He really opens up in this documentary. It's this Wednesday on Peacock. Sign up at peacocktv.com. It's going to also premiere on NBCSN Saturday.
How much speed is lost by not having fresh tires? Probably not much. It's Michigan. Tires haven't worn here since like 2011. I said tomorrow in the Cup race, take 2 tires, no tires, stay out. Whatever you got to do to get track position late in that race tomorrow. I think that'll even be more the case tomorrow than today. I think the lack of downforce on these cars, you're going to want the grip of fresh tires, but I don't think the overall difference is that much. We'll probably find out at the end of this stage when Justin Allgaier and Jeb Burton stay out. They just pitted. I think they took 2 or I don't know if they took 2 or 4, but Allgaier and Jeb pitted, and we're about to restart with 6 to go in the stage, and they'll probably stay out at the end of the stage. So I guess we'll see. One thing I know is that the 22 is really fast. 22.54, like I said. More things change, more they stay the same. Excuse me, Mike Snyder's on the front row now, thanks to the choose cone. Cindric made the right lane choice, unlike the initial start of the race. Yeah, 550 tomorrow. Track position will be king in the Cup race, more so than this race. I don't think tires mean shit tomorrow. No traction compound, just resin on the racetrack, the stuff they used at Nashville. Cindric gets away. Gibbs slides in 4, opens up the door for Mike Snyder. 3 to go. Cindric driving away.
with the resin.
Here comes a push to Gibbs from Allmendinger. Sends him off into one. Boy, the 54 looks loose. 54 is loose and fast.
He was running fifth when he chose that line, so he's going to fall into line here in fourth.
Powers around Mike Snyder, brings Allmendinger with him.
Sure.
If you look on your left side, you see Harrison and then Josh Berry in that one car. Cracked inside the top 10.
Put $1 on Snyder.
And here he is right here.
Michael, you sneeze and put $1 on somebody. 2 to go, stage 1.
Didn't take him long to learn this new racetrack.
And up there trusting that resin.
What's his biggest challenge, guys? He obviously knows how to
I like
drive.
the speed I see in Josh Berry's car.
Speeds, understanding traffic, and how the aero-
He had to start in the back. He's 8th now.
Right? So
And this has been a really short stage, but he's making all the right moves.
whether you're tight or loose, and without knowing the car, without knowing
Especially
the
on
track
restarts
as
to be
well
this
as
close to the
he's
front.
done,
The Xfinity cars hit 195 going into turn 3. I bet the Cup cars will hit like 181 or something tomorrow. Because of that 550 bullshit. One to go in the stage. My pick, Daniel Hemmerich's up to 7th place. Excuse me, 6th place.
Bring everybody back together. So there's no real big pressure early on for that track position. Because he fell back into about 20th, 22nd place, and now he's been able to work his way back up into the top 15 here. We had that driver day on the left. I was a little surprised. I didn't think we'd see speeds up in the 190. We saw mid-190.
I'm really surprised. I'm with Steve Letarte. When I saw that ticker and Josh Berry hit like 195, 196 going into turn 3,
This is on old tires.
I was like, damn.
Might see 200.
So there's your answer. They're on old tires, and Josh Berry hit 196 going into turn 3. Cindric wins stage 1.
Stage 1, a series high night. Stage win in 2021. Scott continues to impress. Continues to build the argument that he's the favorite again for this championship. Awesome. Cindric made a little mistake earlier in the race, but he's made that ground up. Stage winner.
I really eat so much I'm out of breath, or is that just leftover COVID side effects? You know, I never felt the scary COVID side effects. But every time now that I run out of breath, I'm like, oh, God, is that still fucking with me? So, no, you're just talking a lot and you ate. Really looking forward to watching the Falcons play later, because preseason's the only time I can watch Falcons play stress-free. And I'll get to see Kyle Pitts play today. Ty Gibbs looks like a vampire. See, he's pretends to be a Christian to throw the scent off the fact that he's a vampire, because Christians like crosses and shit, and vampires don't. And it's okay that he wrecks you because he's Christian and only God can judge him. Only God can judge Ty Gibbs. Yeah, I saw the NFL's cracking down on taunting. And it's like, wow. Yeah, people were really calling for you to do that. And I hear people like John Merritt, basically old-ass white men high up in the NFL, don't want to see black people happy. So that's why they're cracking down on taunting. Shannon Sharp called him out for that on Undisputed. He was like, oh, I know who you are, and I know what you mean by, oh, we're seeing too much of this. Well, I know who you're targeting. Bunch of old-ass... And then Skip Bayless was the one who said it. He said, yeah, old-ass white guys. And I'm like, fucking Skip Bayless putting them on blast. Well, yeah, old white dudes don't like to see young black guys having fun, so they got to put them in their place. We got to start throwing taunting flags. So, I don't know. Hopefully they'll ease up on that when they catch enough shit for it. I just got an email from PlayStation. Oh, my PlayStation Plus renewed. That hurts. Recurring fee, blah, 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 blah. There goes $60 out of my wallet for PlayStation Plus. I forgot that all that shit that I bought a year ago that's on auto renew is biting me in the ass. Like a month and a half, 2 months ago, my virus protection renewed. I need to start winning some. Maybe Daytona's the week where I get my PlayStation Plus money back. I doubt it. I'll never pick a fucking Daytona winner. Especially one that's sort of a long shot. I'll never get it. Really? More commercials? Hey, DFS, you said Republican. I didn't say Republican. I said old-ass white guys. But notice the word association. I said racist old white guys, and you immediately said, well, I'm Republican. Ha-ha. Word association. It was a Pavlovian response. Look, not all Republicans are racist, but 95 to 99% of all racists are Republicans. There's a correlation there. People are like, turn this shit off. Having to watch the same damn Jimmy Johnson commercial over and over again. Them old-ass NFL owners were like, look, we gave them weed, so let's take the fun out of football for them. We had to break down and let them smoke weed, so let's just start throwing flags and shit for taunting, even when it's not really taunting. Like that dude for the Colts that drugged like 8 or 9 defenders with him and broke free and was like, yeah, and then got a flag for being excited that he carried like 8 people on his back. That was weak.
And by Ruoff Mortgage, official mortgage partner of NASCAR. Welcome home from Ruoff Mortgage. Thrilled to have Brad Doherty back. It's his first race this season with us. Brad, how's it going down there?
SRX reporter Brad Doherty.
Man, it's been fun to get back to the racetrack. See these guys out here just getting after it, letting these big
Taunting is something you'll know when you see it. Taunting is not pointing for a first down or being excited. Taunting is throwing the ball in somebody's face or dancing in their face or saying something to them. You'll know it when you see it.
That sounds like a car owner suggesting.
So it looks like Jeb Burton will be the leader, as we expected. Tyler Reddick will be second. Justin Allgaier third.
Now we know that Cedric was the winner off of pit road during the stops earlier, but a lot of cars starting in front.
Austin Cedric won the race off pit road that we missed because they were showing commercials.
Caution to get tires and cycle themselves toward the front. And you know, we talked about a tight race off pit road. One thing that's interesting here at Michigan is the right-hand side has a curve. So this is going to look odd, right? There's the 54 pulls out. I want you to watch the 2 of my side come into frame right here and watch it. Bam! He hits that curving. It is 8 inches tall. The concern there would be had he dented or hurt any of those right side wheels at nearly 200 miles an hour. If that
Sam Mayer's going to the garage.
Sam Mayer in the 8 in the garage, Dave.
Transmission issues.
Transmission for the 8 car.
They tried to lock it into 4th gear with bungee cords and then push him off a pit road.
They tried to do the old bungee cord trick to fix that transmission, lock it in 4th gear, but it won't go.
Learning days in NASCAR Xfinity Series. He's going to get another one.
I saw Antonio Brown punch somebody in the face, yeah. AB's still AB. Is anybody really surprised?
Sam Mayer had a really nice run going last week, and bad situation, had to miss the curb, and he ended up getting into the wall. Not a great start for his Xfinity career so far. That's tough.
Sorry, Jeff. I was going to say that really watch this start now. We have those used tires that Dale Beamer mentioned up front. There's 5 or 6 guys up front. You have to see lead. There's going to be a lot of pressure coming from the
Jeb Burton, Tommy Joe Martins on the front row. Cindric is 5 cars deep on the outside row. Good launch for Jeb Burton here. He should get this lead easily. Although Brandon Brown is tandeming Tommy Joe Martins back to his inside. They can't hold it, though. Burton with that better horsepower. Oh, Brandon Brown loose. Loose. Oh, Mike Snyder. Mike Snyder just cut up in front of Cindric. And there goes Cindric. There goes Hemrick. Congratulations, Ty Gibbs, on winning. Because Mike Snyder just took out himself and Austin Cindric and Daniel Hemrick. Well, Michael, I'm not winning any money today. Right after PlayStation takes like $60 out of my wallet. That was Mike Snyder's fault. That was Mike Snyder's fault. Just made a mistake.
You talked about it, Steve, having cars on older tires, cars on newer tires.
It started in the middle of 2. Brandon Brown got sideways under the 7, but held on, and they all bunched up off of 2, and Mike Snyder cut up in front of Cindric, and it was on from there. Damn. Cindric out. I think Ty Gibbs going to win this race easily now. Brandon Brown gets sideways. Here comes the big checkup. Ooh, wait. Ty Gibbs got the 2. Maybe Snyder didn't come up in front of Cindric. He might have got loose off of Gibbs. But I'd still lean towards the fact that Snyder cleared himself and caused that wreck. Well, this changes everything, literally. I wish Gibbs had been in it, because then it would be a really interesting race. Allmendinger got through. Harrison Burton, Noah Gregson looked like they got through.
I had it in 51. That was a 68 car, that light blue car with orange numbers. They were hard to make out. But it's all
hell, Mike Snyder, I don't even know if he got that tore up from it.
All right, he's on the bottom. Now he loses the bottom. He loses the bottom because he's loose. And now the 54 is on
track position's key. If you have track position, that doesn't happen to you there. And yeah, I think Mike Snyder's okay. Mike Snyder didn't really hit anything. I expected the 2 to have more damage from when he hit Cindric.
He was in save mode.
Oh, this could be a great view right here.
They got an onboard of the 22 now.
Brandon Brown getting loose. Bubba checks up. Look to the left. The 2 cars.
Sent Cindric right into Bubba, so that ended Bubba's day.
See the 2 getting loose there?
So let's take stock of who's left. Jeb Burton, Tyler Reddick, Justin Allgaier, Ty Gibbs, AJ Allmendinger.
To move him up the track. Oh, these guys spinning behind, just in the smoke, trying to get slowed down.
If something dumb like that's going to happen, you can bet it'll affect Daniel Hemrick with his luck, and it sure did.
On board, Justin Haley in the 11.
Well, I thought Justin Haley was doing a NASCAR Thunder 2003 wreck avoidance challenge till he got hit from behind, and he's tore up.
So you see right here, the 54 is under the 2. No contact, just got the air off the
And Brandon Brown's car wanted to flip over a little bit.
He was just trying to save the race car.
Chaos at Michigan. I had a feeling this race was going to be wild.
And Jeff, you know, Mike Snyder came on the radio and said
And Mike Snyder's car doesn't have a fucking scratch on it.
You know, in slight contact, but that's how powerful that aero loose can be. We talk about, you know, restarting on the bottom.
Snyder's got damage to the right rear that they just fixed. Mike Snyder still got a chance to win this, Michael.
And that's when you have to chase up the track like we saw Mike do there.
Well, let's take another look at that 54.
Makes a few more moves like that, nobody will be left to beat him.
Either way, it definitely affected his car. And the 54 is right on his rear bumper, though, Jeff.
Yeah. So here, let's see. Mike thought he got touched. 54 starts to close in. As he starts to get closer,
Congratulations to Tommy Joe Martins for being ahead of the wreck for once.
the 2 drives under him. I can't tell if he touched him or not. But
Jason, I just think tomorrow's track position and clean air, it's a pretty simple race to figure out. Restarts and track position. So think pit road and restarts.
Let's listen to Myatt and see what he says.
Oh yeah, I don't know what, but I think the 54 pushed me up in the 68 or something pushed me up in the 68.
So Mike Snyder says he did feel he got pushed up from the 54.
Well, he either
One of them old
physically
racing
contact
deals.
or the air alone, regardless. You know, the two get sideways up the track, just like you said, Jeff. It wasn't a question of if he was clear or not. He needed on the racetrack.
Anyway, I should have fucking bet on Allgaier instead of Hemrick.
It was very minor.
Of course, in that situation where he was already loose, it wouldn't take. You can just lean on that car, you know, put your hands on it. Push
Why
it.
couldn't Riley Herbst get tore up in that? Oh, wait, he's so slow he never has to worry about a wreck.
More cars didn't drive into this wreck. Yeah. You know, with all the smoke and everything going on there, pretty impressive that a lot of those guys in the back were able to avoid each other and cars are spinning.
On top of that, some really good cars. 7 cars involved. Mike Snyder, we saw him running well. Haley, we saw him running
Austin
well.
Cindric's driving a modified. Are they really going to let that thing run?
So,
Why are they even bothering with the 18? Look at the toe on the left front of the 18, and they're trying to fix it.
out of this race, the opportunity is open for somebody who can
I just don't see that happening. Well, Cindric's car's still running.
I see some.
Modified.
You're not going to make many laps. There is some fluid coming out of the back of that car.
Well, tell him to stay on the fucking apron. He's dropping fluid everywhere. He's doing like the 15 in the fucking... The 15 car is why the Cup race took an hour and a half to end last week. He went out there and dropped fluid everywhere.
Won that stage and got playoff points. 1 playoff point by doing that. He's not going to have a good rest of the day, but the work he did early, I mean, he's going to be done right here, it looks like, but the work he did early, well, it didn't make this a total loss. He earned points that he's going to be able to take into the playoffs, even though he is not going to get a decent finish out of this.
No, that way you can put that one on the hauler, boys. Your day's done. I wish you would stay off the racetrack, though.
Now he's driving up on the damn racetrack.
Yeah, they thought since the radiator was okay that they might be okay, but I agree with you guys. I don't think it's going to make it very long. In fact, there's a NASCAR official down here saying you guys got to come back down pit road. So I think Austin
NASCAR's making him come in, thank God. We could be here for another hour if he ran another lap around here.
1 lap or 2 laps to try to beat anyone.
And he stays out to cover the entire fucking racetrack in fluid. Yeah, look at this shit. He's running another lap now. I mean, look at this shit. Now we're going to be here for another hour. You might as well red flag the fucking race now. This is inexcusable for a big-time team. Now, last week was one thing. That was a fucking Rick Ware car in the Cup race. This is a fucking Team Penske car running around out here dropping oil everywhere.
And I would guess it's oil because water doesn't normally smoke. You know, it steams right off. That color smoke right there looks to be oil.
But send him back out there and cover the whole damn racetrack in oil. That's ridiculous. That's inexcusable.
Well, these guys are going to have to figure this out. The 22 car continues to circle around the racetrack. After this big crash on the back straightaway, more coming to Michigan after this.
I miss him so much. Cindric went out there, and now we're probably going to have to get a red flag or something. Let me see what Twitter thinks of this. If it'll load on my phone. Earlier, it wouldn't load on my damn phone. Denny Hamlin, get off the damn track. That's what I'm saying. Boy, me and Hamlin are really on the same page lately because Denny Hamlin's tweeting about how ridiculous this is. Jeff Gluck, well, this certainly seems messy and unnecessary. Yeah. I mean, really. Stay on the fucking apron, man. Or don't even fucking go out there at all. But whatever. Damn, Justin Fields. Oh my God. Justin Fields just got his helmet knocked off. Did you guys see this? Kind of a dirty hit. I mean, guy went at him and lived with the head and just clobbered him in the side of the head. And yeah, Fields felt that one. I wish they'd take Cindric's fucking playoff point from his stage win away earlier for running out here and dropping fucking oil everywhere. Myatt Snyder has a penalty. Too many people working on the car while under damaged vehicle policy. So Myatt Snyder will now be 2 laps down after the penalty. And we're still riding around under caution for the mess. The 22 went out there and fucking laid down.
I have to wonder who thinks they're going to get their car into the park there today at the end of this race.
Well, there was a few guys that thought they were going to get the park there that now is damaged. And here's one of them right here. So the team is saying that they bypassed the oil cooler, and the smoke that we're seeing is what leaked out while they were working on the lines, and they feel this is going to burn off. So take them for their word. If that's the case, maybe they just feel this is some residual oil. Looked to me like there was a lot of fluid leaking out.
That looks like a lot of fluid.
That's the rest of the area.
All right, Brad, you asked.
Yeah.
Should they take it? The car owner wanted them to take it easy on the restart. These guys didn't listen, and now there's 7 cars wrecked.
What did I just get through saying? You two guys got 2 race car drivers up there and a big-time crew chief. You guys just want to go, 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 go. You see what happens. But it is interesting, though. Every time I talk to Cup drivers and they get into these Xfinity cars, they talk about the lack of downforce, and I think we saw a great...
Yeah, because they like the lack of downforce. That's why they talk about it.
That race car was so light when he got in the middle of all that turbulence, and Jeff said it best. You can put your hand on that race car and turn it around. So hopefully we've learned a little bit of something in that last mishap. The next one will be much calmer, I'll guarantee.
Oh, whoa, guarantee.
No, it's not going to be.
I mean, like you're buying dinner guarantee? Because I feel pretty good about this. See, that's the thing about race car drivers is by the time we have the next restart, they've done forgotten about all this, and they're looking like, oh, I got a chance. You know, some of the favorites, Cindric, some of these guys that were favorites to win this race are out. Here's my shot. So the intensity is liable to ramp up.
They're all thinking, that won't happen to me.
No.
I won't do that.
30 laps in, and I already know
But
I'm
they
not
will.
winning any money off of this race.
22 continuing to circle around the racetrack. Austin Cindric smokes a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it's the crew chief's fault. Don't get me wrong, Michael. You're right about that. He's just the one driving the car, but it's definitely the crew chief's fault. How have they not fucking parked their ass yet? Is what I want to know. And look, this caution's taken 10 million years. I wonder why, guys. We just went back to commercial again. Can't imagine why this caution's taken so long. That hit on Justin Fields was so dirty. It's fucking preseason, man. Yeah, Brock Beard. I guarantee you if that car was not the defending series champion, NASCAR would freak the fuck out about him being out there smoking. Steve Lovender. Well, if I crashed out of the race and had no chance of winning, I too would oil down the racetrack in order to make things more difficult for my competitors. It's just smart racing, if you ask me. How is he not fucking parked yet? That's actively pissing me off. And NASCAR's just going to let him do it. Just let him do it. Just let him do it. I don't even know what the regular season points battle looks like in Xfinity. I don't know if it's close or not. I would figure Cindric's running away with it. That'd be the only reason I could think of them trying to stay out right now, but it's just stupid and irresponsible. And very selfish. But that's okay. Let's just have them all go into turn one. Let's do like the Cup race at Jimmy Johnson's last Cup win at Dover when NASCAR didn't get to clean the track properly and they all came off of turn 2 and all fucking crashed. Let's just go ahead and do that at 180 miles an hour at Michigan. Fuck it. Let's turn this into an ARCA race. They parked his ass yet?
Dave, what you got on the 44?
Well, Tommy Joe Martins is in a good position right now. He's on the same strategy as Justin Allgaier.
We're halfway through stage 2, and it's all been under caution.
He'll get to the end of the stage. When I talked to Tommy Joe this morning, he's pretty confident.
I think we're going green next time. They're doubled up. I can't see the pace car.
He said, I think I've got the hang of this. If I could just get someone to push me. We've seen it all day long, how if you get a car behind you, you can move your way forward. Getting that push, we'll see if someone attaches himself to the 44 and helps this 34-year-old from Missouri.
Yeah, we're going green. It's Jeb Burton, Tommy Joe Martin's front row, Ty Gibbs, and Tyler Reddick on the second row. Halfway through stage 2 this time.
44, they don't see, when they look at 44, they're like, well, I'm going to get
Field looks a lot different than it did a few laps ago.
Hey, real quick cleanup. Sorry. Mike Snyder with the two-lap penalty. I was trying to figure
Yeah,
out
Mike
why
Snyder
he was
got
right
the
here.
2-lap penalty for
gas man, he's setting the gas can down. He's already
too many people working on the car.
So when he's spinning forward, that's all he's allowed to do. He's not allowed to do anything else. So as we spin it real time, he's going to put the gas can down. He's going to come over to the back of the car and help the team check on some repairs. I think actually pull some sheet metal underneath the tail. As soon as he does something other than fuel the car, that's it. That's a 2-lap penalty. Part of these new pit stop rules, you see him climb under the back to do something. 2-lap penalty. So Mike Snyder, a little bit of damage and 2 laps behind the leaders.
And that's normally Tyler Reddick's pit crew on Sunday at Richard Childress Racing.
That seems excessive. 2 laps.
Cindric finally getting rolled to the garage.
There's a 22 car. I guess they're going back to the garage.
Well, Junior said a 2-lap penalty for that's kind of hard. Remember that time they parked Matt Kenseth for something similar in the playoffs? I think it was 2016.
Got to restart zone. We'll see if anybody's going to.
Maybe it was 2017. I can't remember. It's been a while. Green flag. Great launch by Jeb. Gibbs goes 3 wide with Tommy Joe and Reddick.
It's just so hard for those guys to commit. You don't see
See what kind of speed this 54 has on the bottom here. Man, it's hard to get going on the bottom. Because here comes Allgaier and Reddick to the outside of the 54. We got a smoker in the back of the pack. Jeb Burton drives away. 3 wide for second behind him. Allgaier takes it. Clears Gibbs. Reddick back to his outside. Allmendinger trying to go 3 wide in the middle now. Goes around the outside of the 54. The 54's pushing up into Noah. Well, Gibbs is loose. Gibbs has a fast car, but I think it's just too loose on these short runs. Gibbs might be a touch too loose. And Jeb Burton gets away with the lead.
So I almost tense up when I see somebody driving the outside of another car because I know that inside car instantly loses all that side force.
A lot of run coming from behind Noah Gregson right here. Noah got held up behind the 23 of Reddick.
5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. All on each other.
Going to try that top lane in that resin. Noah's going to try to get on the outside of Reddick.
Noah 3 wide with Reddick and Harrison Burton.
Noah should have the momentum.
That was a nice pass by Noah. Got to hand it to the little fucker. That was for 5th place.
He doesn't want to enter turn 1 on the bottom. You can see those guys get runs on each other, but they're hesitant to go to the bottom of the racetrack because they know there's no grip there. The cars are looser. Hard to complete the passes.
And that's a little arrow, but like you guys say, it's a little bit flatter down there. Don't you think as drivers that bottom lane just doesn't have quite the banking?
Yeah, when they repaint this racetrack, they scanned it. They did recognize the banking is progressive from the bottom to the top.
Progressive before progressive was cool.
Yeah, it was. Oh man.
Woo!
That was close right
Moffitt
there.
took the air off of Jeremy Clements.
Jeremy Clements.
Good get the speed. It cost the 51 in the run from the Josh Berry to the outside.
Riley Herbst in the top 10 to get that valuable stage point.
To a Moffitt. Couple truck wins
And
here.
still probably be behind Michael Annette in the standings.
Go out there and show what this Our Motorsports team can do. Tommy Joe Martin's closing in on the back of that 51. Parker, what you got on the 68?
Well, guys, Brandon Brown was involved in that wreck off of turn 2. Brandon, I'm just curious from your point of view, what did you see happen there, the two coming up the racetrack?
Yeah, I hate doing the interviews here. We got to stop making a habit of this. No, just trying to push in the 44 on that restart, trying to get us both clear, slid up.
We have a battle for the lead. Teammates, Allmendinger and Jeb Burton. 3-car battle for the lead. Allgaier's involved now.
The car pointed the right direction, so we was looking to start climbing forward, and then all of a sudden it was like boom, like somebody's right there, and you're in the wall, you're sideways, you're backwards, people are hitting you. It's just terrible. I hate that. So Vanderbilt Motorsports brought a really great Baby Doge 68 Chevy, and I just hate
The
that we
poor
did this
Baby
for 2
Doge.
weeks in a row.
10 to go, stage 2. Burton, Allmendinger, Allgaier. Ty Gibbs' car is starting to come back to him. It takes him a few laps.
You guys, you can tell disappointment is he was right on the playoff bubble, and now 76.
Gibbs is just not good in traffic. Nobody really is, but his car just gets crazy loose.
The lead here, Jim Burton, teammate AJ Allmendinger. Justin Allgaier in the 7-car back there in third.
Mix of tire strategies here is bringing this top 5 together. Now we got 5 cars battling.
Back there a battle between Harrison Burton and Noah Gregson for 5th place. Harrison's going to try to enter on the bottom, see if he can clear the 9. No, the 9 goes back by him on the outside. And with that, the 7 of Allgaier gets a run. Here we go. We got 2 wide for 2nd and 2 wide for 5th.
Allgaier got to the inside of Allmendinger, side drafted him, slowed him down. Now Burton drives away with the lead again. AJ's got the better line in the corner here. He cleared, and look at how much ground Allgaier lost being on the inside. Gibbs got by him now, so Ty Gibbs is third.
To the entry on the bottom of the racetrack.
Such a difficult pass. Your car may be faster, but you can't clear the guy. Here's Harrison and Noah.
Harrison and Noah trading 5th place back and forth.
Was able to clear Noah that time. Going to go up in the middle lane and just take it away.
I'm like, slide up. Yeah. Take the spot. Clean up a little bit from that accident. Vaccarello, we saw an accident earlier. He was unable to make minimum speed. He's retired, and the 2 of Mike Snyder's save issue was unable to make minimum speed. So because of the damaged vehicle policy, he'll be out of the race as well. See right here, Jeff Burton on a little bit older tires on the left-hand side. Allmendinger, Gibbs, Allgaier also on older tires. These guys are battling. Jeff doing a nice job, though, right? A little bit older tires. He's holding off the 16, Dave.
That clean air, buddy.
Looking good. When I talked to Jeb on the grid today, he said, I just feel good about this place. 1 Truck Series pole, a couple of top 10s, and his only Xfinity Series start, a top 10 here as well. He's trying to keep it out front, as you mentioned, on those old
Now the Allmendinger's gotten some separation from Gibbs and Allgaier. He's run down Jeb again, see if he can make this pass. Jeb better make him go to the inside if he wants any chance of holding him off. Give him the inside if he wants it. Oh, Allmendinger gets close. Gets him loose with the air. He hurt himself, though. I think he got a little tight. He got Burton loose, but he got tight. And here comes Gibbs and Allgaier right back to him. I love Michigan when it races like this. Jeb lost the nose of the car in the middle of 4. Here comes Allmendinger. And Gibbs maybe go 3 wide. No, he sweeps to the outside. Now Jeb blocks Gibbs. Allmendinger takes the lead. I thought Gibbs was going to shove Allmendinger by Jeb, but then he shot to the outside to go 3 wide, and Jeb threw a block, and Allmendinger gets away with the lead.
Good drive on corner exit, though. If he can stay away from the 10 and not let him side draft, no, the 7's going to push the 10 past.
They're all ganging up on Ty Gibbs right now. These Chevrolets. They got to know the 54 is the fastest car on the track after a few laps anyway. Maybe not at first, but after a few laps, 54 has got to be the fastest. But he takes 2nd place away now. 5 to go, stage 2.
That's what Harrison's going to do. He's going to push Jeb. Jeb right in the tire tracks in the draft of that 54 car. They're all going to go by Justin here on the outside.
It's a Burton family reunion.
Gave up the entry, run right around that yellow line to have a chance on corner exit.
Loose race car, that 7. He had a big moment about 3 laps ago, very loose.
There you have it, loose in front of the bottom. That's a bad combination.
stage. This is where the veteran experience of the 7, don't wreck the thing, right? I know you want to be up there passing, but get it back to pit road, let Jason Burdett make adjustments.
What he's doing, he's sitting there watching. He's hoping that Harrison can get underneath Jeb and do the Harrison.
4 to go. Gibbs is closing in on Allmendinger, but not by much. He might get to his bumper with 1 to go, maybe.
He's smart. He's sitting there watching for somebody to make a mistake. He can take advantage of it.
Man, that thing is loose in the middle of the corner, though. He does not want him on their quarter panel. He runs high enough that you might get next to me, but it's going to be the left side. I cannot have you on my right side.
You see this group behind is starting to run, don't back down. See Noah and Brandon Jones. Jeb's car just isn't doing what he wants it to do right now. It's kind of backing everybody up just a little bit.
All right, this is gonna
Jeb loses the nose of his car in the middle of 4.
We'll see if he'll get to him to be able to make
And I think that's just the tires, really.
to push the top and try to cycle by Harrison Burton here on the corner. I think that's what they got to
Probably worked that right front to death trying to stay in front of Allmendinger. Oh, man. The 10 looks like he just stopped in the middle of 1, and it checked up Allgaier, and Noah gets loose under him, backs off.
He's going to drift back. Jones is going to get around. Braxton's going to side draft on that right rear quarter panel to 19. Scally drive away from those two cars as they run side by side down the back straightaway.
It's literally like hooking an anchor on the guy you're racing. You're reaching out like rental go-karts. You're reaching out, pulling that guy back.
Noah fighting on the outside to hold this position if he can.
Good racing. Probably won't see much of that tomorrow, but, you know.
There going down into turn 1. And Brandon in that 90 car is frustrated. He's like, I'm faster, but I just can't quite clear you. Almost had him clear, but this was a great job by Noah to go down there and pull the air. Just pull him back to him.
10 and the 7 continue their battle. Allgaier, I think, a little hesitant to drive to the inside of the 10. That loose condition that Dave reported, but it changes.
Your best bet is just get to his left rear and get him loose. I wouldn't even try to send it under him because, hell, you'll get loose. 2 to go. Now 1 to go. Gibbs has not been able to run him down.
Right here. AJ with a comfortable 1 second lead. There he is, top of the screen. The battle continues on the bottom of the screen between Jeb Burton and Justin Allgaier down into turn 3. Justin dives down into the corner.
You missed a lot. Mike Snyder wrecked the field and took out Cindric and Hemrick and Justin Haley and a bunch of other cars. I think Gibbs has the fastest car, but he's really loose on the short run. But if he gets a long run, I think he'll be hard to beat. Allmendinger just won stage 2. And tires don't seem to mean that much, but it does obviously affect your grip, which is what led to that clusterfuck with Mike Snyder and those guys that took out Cindric.
Wild day so far. Big wreck on the back straightaway.
Been a crazy day. I'm not winning any money because my bet was on Hemrick and he got wiped out thanks to Mike Snyder. And last week's Cup winner, AJ Allmendinger. Stage 2 winner. This race seems to be a little chaotic and unpredictable, but if it comes down to a short run, I'll give the nod to AJ. But if there's a long run, I think Gibbs wins it. We were all losing our shit at Austin Cindric after he got wrecked. He went back out there and covered the whole fucking racetrack in oil for no reason. That was a real irritating thing to watch, especially after what happened near the end of the Cup race last week with James Davison. I was still a little fired up from that. On this day in 2005, Jeremy Mayfield scored his 5th and final NASCAR Cup win at Michigan. Saw Jeremy Mayfield was on the NASCAR Weekly podcast. I haven't listened to it yet. Why do I follow Kim Burton on Twitter? I'm asking myself that question. I'd like to thank you guys for sticking by me through my COVID nightmare, even though it wasn't that bad. The real nightmare was being bored. Although, you guys, if you were here for that Xfinity race last week, I was losing my voice. And that was when my sore throat kicked in. That sore throat came out of nowhere. I thought I was over COVID because I felt fine. And then it was like, boom, sore throat. I was like, ugh. Could have been a death metal singer with how I was talking last week after that Xfinity race.
From SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, home of Super Bowl 56.
Alrighty, it's been a good race so far. About to open the pits.
Team's getting ready to hit the cars at the end of stage 2 here. We'll have a final run in stage 3 to the checker. They'll need another pit stop at some point during that. But you have to imagine everybody's strategy is pretty straightforward from this point on, Steve.
Yeah, it really just comes down to yellows. You know you have to pit one.
Yeah, however the cautions fall.
Tires, the stress starts to come in if we have a bunch of yellows. You know,
The guys who played that strategy near the end of stage 1 came out smelling like roses there, especially Jeb Burton and Justin Allgaier, because, hey, that put them ahead of that big wreck that they would have probably definitely been in.
No, you can't. I have. They don't want to watch the strategy.
You can watch it.
You can.
There's so much pressure on these big crews. You talk about them every week. Hell, they're true athletes. They are. Now the pressure's on. They're like field goal kickers. I've always equated them to. They sit on the sideline, wait and wait. Now they got to perform.
And you normally only get showed when you mess it up.
Yeah.
Are the Bears really going to start Andy Dalton week 1 so we have to fucking watch him and not Justin Fields when they play the Rams? Because that's going to suck ass. Bears-Rams is that primetime game every year that nobody asks for. But at least the Rams have Stafford now, so the offense will be functional. And the race off pit road goes to A.J. Allmendinger. A.J. Allmendinger and Ty Gibbs just lost all his track position on pit road. Wow. That probably just gave the race to Allmendinger unless cautions fall a certain way. But based on what I've seen today, Gibbs doesn't need short runs. He needs long runs, and now he doesn't have the track position. He got blocked in by the 92 of Josh Williams. So Allmendinger's the leader and Harrison Burton second.
Maybe the 92 could have been a little bit farther, but in the end, you kind of have to put yourself in a good position. Yeah, I'm sorry, Joe, go ahead.
Boy, A.J. Allmendinger is living a charmed life these days, isn't he? Everything's going A.J.'s way. He's on a good karma streak right now.
Sitting there turning right so we can launch and leave.
Ty's had some issues trying to get off pit road all day today, and it's cost him several pit stops. He's been able to drive that car back up into the top 2. Have to start stage 3 at a disadvantage. Big news earlier today during our Countdown to Green show, Jesse Iwuji.
Who gives a fuck about Jesse Iwuji? Emmett Smith and Jesse Iwuji are starting an Xfinity team next year. Big fucking deal. Can't wait to see him run 30th every week. The 52 car will probably outrun them.
What a great opportunity for Jesse Iwuji, our own Jesse, who works with us at NBC, and obviously the legendary running back.
Put Brad Daugherty in a car if he can fit in one.
Run the Xfinity Series next year full time. It's a great, like I said, great opportunity for Jesse as well as Emmett. He's going to bring some of his business acumen into the sport, and it's good for us all, guys. As this sport continues to evolve, become more inclusive, it's just better for everyone. I'm excited to see it, and looking forward to watching those guys. And maybe I can get between Emmett and Michael Jordan, and we can have a little bit of a, I don't know, we couldn't have a basketball game because we have Emmett. But anyway, we have a good.
They don't have enough knees left to have a basketball game between Brad Daugherty, Michael Jordan, and Emmett Smith, who never even played basketball.
I'm very, very proud. We all have a responsibility to maintain and continue to grow the sport, and I think this is a big part of it.
I've become great friends with Jesse over the years. 34 years old, there you see, from Texas. Emmett, and I did some
Hey, did you guys watch Hard Knocks this week? It was fucking boring. But honestly, that's a good thing for the Cowboys. You want to be boring. So, Allmendinger, Harrison Burton, Justin Allgaier, Jeb Burton, Noah Gregson, the top 5.
Right? We always have people wanting to come in as crew members, as drivers. The line's long for those guys, but people wanting to come in to make the commitment. Junior, you're a car owner. You had difficulty.
Josh Berry in 6th. I like what I see there.
Wanting to be car owners means a great deal. We have to have it. And what's really going to be fun is we give a football.
See the 22 and the 18 getting loaded up on the hauler just now.
When he said we're going to have a pickup game, I was trying to figure out what sport it was going to be down there to see who's going to take what draft pick. I'm excited about this for Jesse.
Boy, Cindric really had a strong shot at winning. And he just seems to get smacked in the face when he has an obvious win in front of him.
To create opportunities for other people. That's the great thing for me as an owner is how I'm able to give drivers, crew chiefs, engineers, mechanics all the opportunity to get into the sport, get better at their craft and whatever their expertise is, and move on into the Cup Series. I call it graduate. I love it when somebody gets a call from a Cup team and they want to hire one of our guys. Whether they're working on the race car, whether they're up in the office, whether they're logistics, it doesn't matter. And I think that Jesse's really going to enjoy that part of it as well.
Yeah, you watch the 22 and the 18 being loaded up. I think we talk about ownership. The other thing I think the fans need to realize, we've talked a lot about ownership this year. That's all been in the Cup Series, right? We have Colin moving up. We have new owners in the Cup Series. I want to talk about charters. This is the Xfinity Series, which is great for this series, right? It's like it's like a breath of fresh air to a series that I think was kind of wondering, hey, there's a new car in Cup. There's all these new Cup owners. What about us? Dale, your commitment is seen on the racetrack with 4 race cars. So another big sports star, as I think the difference. Like, this isn't a businessman. This is a football Hall of Famer.
These homemade
Rice Krispie treats
on the
so bad. TV today,
eat like the whole
great beard. He looks 40, not 50 years old. So whatever the pickup game is, I'm not tackling him. The man is huge.
We saw Ty Gibbs having trouble on Pit Road, and he was having difficulties getting around the 92 of Josh Williams.
We're going to have 59 laps to go for stage 3. And Josh Williams is making fun of Ty Gibbs for getting stuck behind him on pit road. Don't make fun of the little rich kid now. He's Christian. He'll pray to God that God kills you or something. You got to watch those people. They'll put the Christian curse on you. All right, stage 3. It's a colleague front row. We like that.
Jeb Burton on the inside. Harrison Burton back there in 4th.
59 laps. Good launch for AJ. Good launch for Jeb. He's going to have to use the side draft to get clear, but he's not going to get clear. Wow, you just lose so much on that bottom. Allmendinger gets away. They're 3 wide for second. The Burtons and Allgaier, they come together. They keep going. Oh! Jeb tries to side draft Harrison. They made more contact. I thought they were both done, but they keep it going. Oh, Jeb losing the nose in 4 again. It's been the story of the whole race for him. I thought he was going to take out Harrison. Look at Ty Gibbs 3 wide back there in the middle with Noah and Brandon Jones. Ty's car doesn't take off good on these short runs, but you got to do what you can. Because that 16 car might check out here if he can stay in front of Allgaier. As long as he doesn't get a challenge from Allgaier, he'll probably check out.
Onboard camera, this is going to be a great view. So what do you do with this run? He stays up top, pushes the 9. The 54 of Ty goes to the left. He's sinking 3 wide. Gregson now.
Oh, Riley Herbst. We almost watched Riley Herbst wreck in real time from an onboard camera. This is about as wide as I have seen the groove at Michigan in a while. It's still not like old Michigan. They can't run all the way out to the wall, but they can run pretty wide now. I think the resin has a lot to do with that.
He's probably on the radio. I am too loose. Tighten this thing up. We saw him on pit road earlier in the race making some adjustments, trying to get the car to drive the way he wanted it to.
While we were watching watching that, Josh Berry goes by the 10th and 4th position. Miles an hour down in the turn.
Josh Berry, 4th place.
Allmendinger, pretty comfortable lead over Allgaier, about a half a second.
Ty Gibbs racing hard with Noah for 7th.
Jones trying to close in on Jeb Burton. Drives down right to the back bumper. Jeb getting a little bit loose.
Yeah, Jeb just doesn't have the speed. The track position and everything and clean air kept him up front for a while, but that car's not handling good, especially on corner exits.
When he's in clear traffic, he makes really good lap time. He's able to clear Jeb right now. See if he can run this crew down in front of him.
Good clean air as he gets in front of the 10-car Jeb Burton now. In 5th place, Brandon Jones trying to track down Josh Berry for 4th. Here's 2nd and 3rd, Justin Allgaier. There's Josh Berry. There's the whole top 4 on your screen. Yeah, Josh done a great job. I was watching him when the race started.
Like how the one car does better without Michael Annett. Even though I give Michael Annett credit, he stepped up his performance before his leg injury started taking him out of the car.
Was way off pace from the leaders in lap time, even in clean air. But
I spent the last 4 years mocking Michael Annett, but I got to give him credit. When he's been in the car lately, he's been good.
Faster and faster. We see it all these new road courses we're going to. Drivers getting better and better as the race goes on with the minimal amount of practice that we get. Harrison Burton fighting that 20 car. He like you moving around. Yeah.
Josh Berry going for 3rd.
Oh, vibration and him smoking the cockpit. The double whammy. I think that was on board with the 20. Dave.
Josh Berry 3rd.
Josh Berry moves by.
We got a Chevy 1, 2, 3.
I feel like we're pretty fast, and so he was go for it. Mike Bumgarner, his crew chief, told me earlier today that we want to win this race with Josh Berry. Yes, that helps us in the owner points, but we still think when Michael Annett comes back next week at Daytona, we may be like 40 points below the cut line.
I hope Michael Annett gets to race Daytona next week. That's a golden opportunity. But I still think a Colleague car is going to win next week.
And they can think that because
20's pitting right here.
Harrison Burton pitting. He said he had smoke in the cockpit and a vibration to take him out of contention now.
Just outside their fuel window, which is unfortunate. The right front looks loose to me. Riding down pit road. I know it seems crazy, but
might have a loose wheel.
Right front shaking.
It is. That's the vibration that Harrison Burton's feeling that car. They're just going to do right sides here. As they started to have that issue, they told him it was up to him to come, and he came on.
Ty Gibbs back in the top 5 now.
You see them do those right sides. Hopefully those are tighter.
So frustrating to have a right side loose. I can understand the left side because the jack gets dropped too early, but the right side, those should be tight.
let's see if they can rebound and get themselves back into the race.
Allmendinger, Allgaier, Josh Berry, Brandon Jones, Ty Gibbs. 51 laps to go. Every time I look over at my diecast cars, I'm sad that I don't have more. But I just don't want to spend the money. Yeah, guys, remember when Austin Cindric drove around the track and oiled it down, all to finish 37th place? He did all of that to finish 37th. If you finish 35th, 36th, 37th, 38th, 39th, or 40th, you get 1 point for that spot. So literally, he was not going to gain shit. They were just being dickheads. Right around to get 37th place, which is the same as 35th. So remember that. We got a battle for the lead shaping up here with Allgaier. And Allgaier, Justin Allgaier, when he comes on strong at the end of races, he really comes on strong. I swear Allgaier cannot put a full race together, but at least today he's getting fast near the most important time of the race. He's all over AJ right now. Harrison Burton just in front of him, tail into the lead lap. He pitted and changed 2 tires for that vibration. Ooh, AJ loses the nose, slips up off the bottom. Allgaier's to his inside, and they're side by side down the front stretch here. Josh Berry's like, stay together a little bit longer. AJ barely led that lap by a nose, and he's going to stay in front of Allgaier. And here comes Josh Berry. So now we got a 3-car battle for lead. And wow, Allgaier, loose. He drove hard into one, and it just did not stick. And then Michael Annett catches him, and he gets loose. And now AJ drives away by about a half a straightaway. For now. See if Allgaier can make another run at him. It's going to take him about 4 or 5 laps to build back up to get to him again. Although I do think he's faster. It's just hard to make that pass on the bottom. You're going to have to try to get around his outside. You're not going to be able to make it on the bottom.
$5,000. Well, the free-to-play Jackpot Races app is here to make that happen with expert analysis and live in-race tracking of your picture racing experience. Hit the jackpot. Go to your Apple Store or Google Play and download the Jackpot Races app today. You're watching the New Holland 250, and the battle for the lead was really, really tight. Justin Allgaier trying to take it away, lost a little bit of grip, got loose. The 1-car of Josh Berry, we saw him try to drive up there and take the second spot away. He also had trouble completing the pass at the bottom of the racetrack. I've never seen this racetrack be this low on grip. It looks like it's lost a lot of grip from over the last couple of years. These guys really fighting hard to try to complete passes.
And as the camera moves around, you got to see the 20th Harrison Burton out in the distance, 25 car lengths or so in front of the leader. 2 tires on that vibration, so he's the last car in the lead lap, hoping he gets a timely yellow. You mentioned the grip. I love it. Low grip Michigan is I mean, the track
I just wish that groove was a little bit wider. Like I said, it's wider than it was, but I wish it was a little more wide.
The driver determining about where he runs in the corner can affect all.
AJ, it looked like AJ was losing speed, losing pace. Allgaier much quicker. Then Allgaier gets loose, and now AJ enjoying a comfortable lead again.
45 laps to go.
And the fastest car on the racetrack. Before that, he was like the 4th or 5th fastest car. Going to have that exchange, and then all of a sudden, Allgaier picked up about 0.2 of a second.
Josh Berry, I think, is the best of these 3. He's just kind of learning his way up these high-speed tracks to how to pass this 7. Like, how do you go about it? How do you set up a pass? If we're at a half mile or 1 mile, there's no doubt this man has all the experience of the short track. But this is part of this learning curve at these high-speed tracks.
Well, I'm sure there's some answers down in the pits. Let's get some updates. Start today.
Hey, Junior, so the answer may be in that Josh Berry doesn't have any issues right now. This car, the leader, A.J. Allmendinger, feels like both of his right sides may have a loose lug nut vibration going on there. Doesn't know if it's a wheel weight or exactly what. So he's concerned about that. Behind him in second place, the 7 car.
Fuel window's just about open here, I'd say.
Hitting the splitter on the left side, and now he's got something on the grill.
Still figure they'll probably split the run in half. I think they restarted with 59 laps to go, so roughly 30 to go, maybe a little sooner if you want to try to leapfrog AJ here. If you're Allgaier or Josh Berry, you're close enough to be able to leapfrog him.
Let's give you a Toyota driver update on the 2 Joe Gibbs Racing drivers who round out the top 5. Brandon Jones has been pretty quick here in the second half of this run.
Yeah, Brandon Jones is quietly having a good day. Uneventful. That's rare for him. I hope Josh Berry wins the championship next year. Gonna have Ty Gibbs and Josh Berry running next year. Don't know what Team Penske's plans are, if they have any.
One car having a great run today. We talked about him earlier. Tommy Joe Martin's in that 44.
Tommy Joe Martin's is in the top 10.
In over 100 starts, but today he's got great pace in this 44 car.
Yeah, I'll run Jeremy Clements, Tyler Reddick, 2 spots behind him.
Hey, what you got on this 44 car?
So the story was reconfirmed by Tommy Joe himself just a few weeks ago that after 2 years of funding this Xfinity Series program, his dad Craig and him would have to look for another way to race as a team in the future. In other words, Tommy Joe is saying, I may be stepping out of the seat as planned at the end of this year and finding drivers who can help fund this program. I have loved being in this, but you know, I'm 34 years old. I've had my chance, and now I'm looking to the future, maybe just becoming a car owner. But runs like this today, that's going to make Tommy Joe motivated to stay back behind the wheel.
It's also going to get some people motivated to get behind the wheel of that car. You may have no trouble finding people interested in driving a more competitive race car. Battle for the lead, heating up to 7 to
And here's the battle for the lead again. Snuck up on me there, Allgaier. Caught AJ napping a little bit. Allgaier is faster. But good luck finding a way around AJ. AJ Allmendinger's really good at making a car 8 lanes wide. If he can just get right there on his quarter panel at 4, he'll get him loose and be able to make this happen. He couldn't get it that lap, 40 to go. If he's not careful, Josh Berry will pass both of them. They're running up on some lap cars. AJ has to go to the very bottom to try to get around the 74. Allgaier's going to get a great run off of 2 here. He was a little higher than AJ. Allgaier might be close enough at the exit of 4 this time to make his move. AJ trying to anticipate where the 17 is going to go. Now lap traffic is really going to be a problem here. Oh! Josh Berry ran up on the back of the 7 car off of 4. But look at this draft. Allgaier got down the front stretch. What a run. Not close enough to get to his inside. Not that you want to get to his inside in 1 and 2. Getting to the inside of 1 and 2 is worse than anywhere else. Now this is where AJ might get in trouble here. If I was the 1 car, I'm going to help my teammate get by him. And they're starting to stack up behind AJ. Josh Berry's close enough to help Allgaier make this pass. And there's, like I said, he got right to his quarter panel off the exit of 4, and AJ got just a touch loose. And Allgaier leads this lap. Josh Berry's too far back now to shove Allgaier by. Now where's the lap traffic going to go? AJ's got the better line, but he's got the lap car in front of him. He's got the lap car in front of him, and Josh Berry's going to go 3 wide. Look at this run. Josh Berry's running wider than anybody has all day, and he passes both of them. Josh Berry just blew by Allgaier and AJ Allmendinger at once. He went wider than anyone else has all day, and the lap traffic slowed the other 2 cars down, and now Josh Berry's out front, coming to 37 to go. That lap traffic was a nightmare. You go, Josh Berry. Man, please stay green. Please stay green. This is great. Best pass for the lead in Xfinity Series all year, other than maybe Allmendinger at Mid-Ohio. That was awesome. I'm not used to seeing that 1 car actually do something. Allmendinger's still in front of Allgaier. Now they're 2nd and 3rd. Now you got to start looking behind them to see where Brandon Jones and Ty Gibbs are, because they'll come into play here. With the way that these 2 stacked up, they had to lose a lot of time. That was a balls to the wall pass for the lead. And now that they've seen Josh Berry do it, now Allgaier is going even higher in turn 2 to try to get a run on AJ and get around the lap car. And he does get a big run down the back. Sweeps to the bottom. Hope he can clear him before they get into 3. He will. Oh, he's going to slide up in front of AJ, and he just does. So Allgaier's 2nd now. No, Robert, that would not put Michael Annett in the playoffs. Absolutely not. Michael Annett would have to win the race to make the playoffs. You know, it is amazing, and I'm not calling you out, Robert. It's just funny that I see people on Facebook all the time, and when people ask questions like that, it's amazing how people still don't know the rules of this fucking playoff format. I have to stop and think about it myself. I'm like, no, Michael Annett would not be in the playoffs. He would have to win to make it. Not just by having somebody win in his car. People were asking last week, why isn't AJ in the Cup playoffs? It's like, well, the rules are he's not eligible. He's not even come close to running every race. And he declared for Xfinity points. And I'm like, wow, people really still don't know the rules. Because this format is so silly. Your ignorance is forgiven.
with the last pit
It's a
stop.
legitimate question. These rules are hard to keep up with.
When will they be called to pit road? And you have to be
So we're at 34 to go, and I said with about 30 to 32 to go, I think you'd start seeing guys to pit road if they're going to split the stage in half, maybe.
a few laps left in the race. And then minimize mistakes. I have to ask myself, Josh Berry. I wonder how many
Josh Berry's done drove off and left these guys, kinda. Allgaier's still within a second, but just barely.
This is a Dale Jr. picturesque around the top. Like he's been studying.
Higher than I've seen anybody run all day, Josh Berry with that pass for the lead. They're showing a replay of it now, and it's just beautiful. Clean air, high, wide, and handsome, buddy.
Resin's got some potential. We're late in the run. A lot of laps on these tires, and that's going to get these guys to move up the racetrack. Let's listen to Josh.
Josh Berry knew that shit was awesome. He knew that was a great move. Got him the lead, 1.2-second lead now.
It was indeed, and it's one of the things that has caught the eye of all of the ownership at Junior Motorsports, including Kelly Earnhardt Miller and her husband L.W. Miller, who had a conversation with Josh after he won at Martinsville. He said, that is good. He said, now drive your stake into the ground in this series. Show people that that was not a fluke and that you belong here. And Josh told me that after that, that's when things started happening. That's when the sponsors started getting more and more interested in a full run for next year. And he won't be in this 1 car, he'll be in the 8 car. But it all came together as a result of a part-time schedule and a big win at Martinsville, but what he's done since as well.
Consistently good performance from Josh Berry all year long.
What racing across North America needs, and that's the dream of these late model guys getting a chance. Right? He did all he could do. He won the national championship. I mean, he put himself on the map, and then he's been given these opportunities. But man, he has made the most of them, and that's just good for everyone.
And if he can hold on and win here, you win at Martinsville, you win at Michigan, you can pretty much win anywhere.
Himself getting a shot, and I think that begs the question of what happens to the other teams, the other cars, the other drivers at Junior Motorsports, and that
Dale Jr. speculating about his own team. How about that?
Watching Josh close in. There's Harrison Burton still trying to fight and keep himself on the lead lap.
Yeah, Harrison Burton's still on the lead lap. That big battle for the lead was the best thing that could have happened to him, but now Josh Berry is gapping everybody else and running down the 20 to try to put him a lap down. 30 to go.
Unfortunate. If he could have got lucky enough that he could have rode to the fuel window, but he had to come on. You can see the right front kind of moving around just on pit road. So we'll see if he can stretch it, or maybe he's just getting better mileage than we expect. We'll have to see.
Our buddy Parker Kleeman, he likes to do his pit reporting, but he also loves to walk around these racetracks. Down in turn 1, what you doing, Parker?
Well, when we come to Michigan International Speedway, there's one word that always comes up: speed. We saw the speedometer looking on the onboards, almost over 196 miles per hour here, just getting close to 200 maybe in the draft. And so right here, where do they do that? Into turn 1, right here at Pennington's. You can get literally this close, and I'm telling you, this is actually scary. I've done this so many times, but every time you come here, these cars fly by you. You're not prepared for. I've been in there, and I feel far safer in there than I do where I'm standing right now. But guys, this is awesome. This is why I love coming to NASCAR races. If you've been wondering why you should come out here and see how close you get.
By the way, the fastest car on the racetrack might be Ty Gibbs, but he's 7 seconds back in 5th place.
Well, is that a little Squireism? I like that one.
What's appropriate on a day we talked about Dennis Smith?
Said average speed into turn 1, Ty Gibbs is fastest all day.
It's a better broadcast. Oh, Josh Berry has got to the rear bumper for the 20 right here. Now,
This could be a problem for Josh Berry. The 20 car's not going to lay over. He's last car in the lead lap in 16th.
But they're a little probably mismatched. Cars probably gotten a little tight on those 2 tires. Josh Berry has found some comfort and some confidence, perhaps more important than the comfort of running that top. And what that does is right here.
And Harrison is being a real dick.
Down the backstretch, he's going to turn left, and Harrison's going to have to decide how hard he wants to fight.
I think other people need to pay attention to that top group. It's working.
Oh, whoa, Josh.
I thought the leader was wrecked.
Oh, he's...
Still might be wrecked.
My God, man. Josh, please.
That's the inexperience that I worry about.
Jesus.
With a driver like Josh.
And Harrison follows him down to... Harrison Burton's going to cost Josh Berry this fucking race. And I'm going to want to jump to the TV and strangle his stupid little ass.
Driving now on the inside of this guy. Here he goes again down into turn 1, and he has no grip.
That's going to cost Josh Berry the win trying to get around this fucking 20 car.
Oh, look how close he comes to getting into the fence off of turn 2, just sliding around the racetrack. And these are things that he's learning on the fly. Watch here. I can see that. I'm like, this is not a good thing. The 20's not going to lift and give this position up. He's going to fight. Josh's car moving around.
Justin Allgaier gained about 0.6. He gained over half a second that lap.
Necessary for me to put ourselves in this situation. Let's listen to the talk.
Leads down to just a shade under a second.
There you go. A little coaching about getting on pit road.
And they're talking about just pit. I would probably pit as soon as possible to get out from being stuck behind the 20 and hope that I just cycle through in front of him. Although I figure the 20 is just going to run it out of gas before he pits. Might as well.
You're not going to miss it. We're going NASCAR, not.
He's just fast enough to stay in front of the leader. I think Harrison should just run this race out. He's going to be short on gas, but run it out. Fuck it. Josh off of 4 with another big run, trying to figure out a way to get around him. Here's the run. Josh going to get a big run down the back here. Get a 20 car look squirrely. Come on, clear him. Yes, Josh Berry cleared Harrison Burton, so Harrison Burton's a lap down now. Inside of 25 to go. Yeah, it's real shocking to see Brandon Jones outrunning Ty Gibbs. I'm just nervous for Josh Berry. If there's one thing Dale Earnhardt Jr. knows, it's NASCAR racing. So I'm not surprised that Jr. is one of the best talent evaluators. This dude has lived and breathed nothing but NASCAR racing his entire fucking life. Josh is doing a really good job in this lap traffic now, although Allgaier is a lot closer than I'd like him to be. But hopefully pit stops will work out for Josh Berry's favor, not Justin Allgaier. Even though whoever wins here, I'd be happy, but I'd really like to see Josh Berry win this.
Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, NASCAR America pre-race. Countdown to green at 2:30. The Cup Series race from Michigan will be at 3, and you don't want to miss the post-race NASCAR America at 6 p.m. We got pit stops coming up really soon for our leaders as we continue to run under green. So now the real question is, when you come to pit road, and now we're going to be inside 20 to go, do you risk taking just right sides? You can have about a second, maybe 7, 8 second faster stop.
As hard as Josh Berry ran to get around the 20, I want 4. We got Noah to pit road. Gregson, the first car to pit. 21 laps to go. And this will definitely drag everybody else in. Borderline uncontrolled tire on Noah. I don't know if they'll call that or not. It's close. Well, if Ty Gibbs is going to win, he better pick up the pace, David. He's 8 seconds behind in 5th place. He's going to need a caution or something. Josh Berry's out front by over a second and a half over Justin Allgaier. We're at 20 to go.
This is where we stop in the, the Cup car. Maybe start getting an idea. I think the most important right now is don't lose the race. Don't make a mistake to get. Even if you give up a second, make sure you don't speed. Make sure you don't do anything crazy.
Remember, he is subbing for Michael Annette, so he hasn't been preparing for this race for 3 or 4 weeks. Right. So did he get that work in as far as knowing where to
19 to go. Josh Berry's still staying out. Brett Moffitt's to pit road.
So that this isn't really the first time he's done it. In real life, it will be, but what experience did he provide himself before he got here?
Well, and I'll go one further. That with the lack of practice, most of these Xfinity guys haven't done a lot. You talked about AJ Allmendinger and the number of starts. Everyone in the field, no to pit road more than A.J. Allman.
Ty Gibbs to pit road from 5th place.
Has to go to the driver of the 16, Marty.
Hey guys, we talked about Josh Berry. How many green flag stops has he done? Well, how about Ty Gibbs? He hits pit road, got on cleanly. They reminded him several times, do not speed, do not speed. No 92 in front of him, so that should be good for fresh cooking tires. He said still the car way too tight. Also on pit road, Justin Haley, as well as the green flag window, really open here, and a long stop for this 54.
Oh, God, another bad pit stop for Ty Gibbs. That'll pretty much take him out of any shot at winning this. Caution or not, he's not going to win now. Shitty day on pit road for the 54. First time wasn't their fault. That was their fault, though.
A bad stop. You'd better be on the green rather than yellow. If you're on the yellow, you use tons of spots. Lose track positions.
Josh Berry is pitting this time. We're on 18 to go, coming off turn 4. Here comes Josh Berry. Don't fucking speed.
I love that calm voice coaching him around there. Jason Jarrett on the roof. That's son of Hall of Famer Dale Jarrett. A lot of experience at all these racetracks. Has driven before. He knows. Dave.
You saw him trying to get all he could coming in, a little squiggle there. Following
A.J. Allmendinger to pit road. Ty Gibbs gets a penalty. Well, that'll definitely take him out of this deal. So, yay, Josh Berry. Looks like Josh nailed it. Good pit stop. Safe pit road entry. And yeah, they just announced 54's got his penalty. And now Allgaier is the leader, has not pitted yet. I would assume he's pitting this time.
Then the 1. We're going to see the 1 come up to speed here on the backstretch in front of the 7. Doesn't really matter. What's going to really matter is when does the 7 pit. And hand out the window. So here you go.
Allgaier's pitting this time.
To pit road right here. We'll see how he does on his entrance, how many tires he takes. And then after the pit stop, we're going to compare him. He's racing the 1 on the racetrack. I'll be honest, hard to tell. You know, it's such a big place. I just, looked good, but we'll find out when the 7 leaves.
Fuel only on Justin Allgaier.
That's what I heard.
I believe you did.
Fuel only.
Smooth getting onto pit road there. He also got coaching from his veteran spotter, Eddie DeHunt. And so as
I think this will pay off for him with only 15 to go. I think that'll win him the race.
7 of Justin Allgaier, gas only, a huge call by Jason Burdett. The 7 leaving pit road, the 1 of Josh Berry just now exiting turn 4.
Man.
There's no doubt the 7's going to have the lead. The question is,
how much of a lead is he going to have, though?
will the 7 have the pace on old tires to hold the 1 off? Big gamble by
Now you got to tell Josh Berry to get after it.
Like we said earlier, you got to win
Because he is going to be behind the 7 here. One Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. About a 4-second lead for Allgaier over Josh Berry. God damn it. I like Allgaier, but I really want Josh Berry to win.
Jim Burton to come to pit road. We got 36 cars sideways on pit road down here, trying to get his car.
Now I wouldn't mind a yellow. The 36, Alex LeMay got spun on pit road or something.
They're going to have to pit again. So Allgaier and Berry, the 2 cars that we're looking at.
Fuel only here. You can run him down here.
There you go. There's the coaching. Fuel only, run him down. 14 to go. You have to run your teammate down if you want to win in Michigan. And it's about, what did we say, guys? About a 3-second lead.
Oh, Jeb Burton slow on the front stretch. He's out of gas. He hasn't pitted yet. He couldn't get to pit road. He ran out off of 4. He's in turn 1 now. Damn, well, come on. I don't know. Oh, boy. The 10 just lost a lot of speed on the apron of 1 and 2. Can he make it back? Allgaier's really hoping he makes it back.
I don't know that he can make it back.
Well, no, he's really slow off turn 2, and this is not what the 7 wants to see because this is going to put, those fresh tires of Josh Berry right on his rear bumper.
Oh, boy.
Sometimes they will fire just a little bit to get it rolling.
I think he's still under power.
He's got some steady pace. He's really slow, Jeb, going down the back, but he's still rolling.
Takes the lead
Herbst to pit road. That'll hand the lead to Allgaier officially.
All right, so now it's basically between Allgaier and Barry. And if this 10 can make it back around, we'll have to see if the 10 has under slow speed, if he can fire up. I don't think. Barry's already cut the lead down to 1.7 seconds.
Josh Berry is hauling ass and running down Allgaier.
1 second.
I really do not want to see a yellow now.
Full second. You're going to see the 7 at the top of your screen, about 20 car lengths behind.
God damn it.
And the 10, to your point though, sometimes you can just drive it around.
Sometimes it'll fire up.
Allgaier's in heavy lap traffic, and Josh Berry's already running him down.
Way slower than it looks like on the screen.
I'd like to have Josh get this lead before yellow comes out.
It's going to give him every opportunity to get to pit road. Here's a net. I'm sorry. Here's Josh Berry right on the back of the 7 of Allgaier.
I'd like to see Josh get this lead.
Through this traffic.
If he's the control car, I'd be a lot more confident.
Easily turn underneath him right here. Be smart right here. 3 wide. You got a much
Come on,
faster
Josh.
car.
Come on, Josh. I know the caution's coming. I know it's coming. Ah! Allgaier had the better line into 3. Oh, Josh!
It's close. Allgaier still have no choice to try to side draft him. He knows he's very so much faster.
I think Josh led that lap.
Jim Burton still trying to get to pit road. Yeah, the car's still moving.
It's almost to pit road.
God damn it! Caution's out, and Allgaier's the fucking leader. Son of a bitch. Way to go, 10 team. You fucking run your guy out of gas and just cost my guy the race, probably.
10 cars on the lead lap. What do you do?
Son of a bitch.
If you're the 7 Allgaier.
Well, you have 4 fresh tires in the pits. You're going to restart with less than 10 to go. I mean, I just don't think they can stay out. I mean,
Allgaier can't stay out.
I would probably come put my 4 tires on right here. You're going to restart somewhere in the top 8.
I did not want to see that yellow.
Turn 1, what are you going to do? If somebody gets you a quarter panel, you're going to be 8th off turn 2.
I agree. You rolled the dice.
I love the gamble.
It didn't work. So except it didn't work. You tried.
There's not that many cars on the lead lap, so Allgaier can pit and get his 4 tires.
Harrison Burton running in 6th place. Wasn't going to be able to. Right. He was a few laps from having to come to pit road to get fuel to finish this race. He was a little bit short, having pitted for a loose wheel earlier, so he'll come to pit road as well.
Yeah, this worked out great for Harrison Burton.
See, like they did put right sides on, but they still have lefts.
Right.
Like what happens if you just put lefts on all rights?
I'm just still shocked that 10 of Jeff.
I don't understand what the fucking 10 team was thinking. That was stupid.
There's no positive in running long. I don't understand what they were going for. Like even if you're gonna do gas only, come and take gas only. I mean now they're in 31st, 3 laps down. I mean this race is thrown away. I mean if you just come and pit with everybody else, you at least still have a chance if you get a late yellow. Now you are the late yellow.
Nobody ever wants to be the late yellow.
That we talked about earlier in the race. Brandon Jones in a 19 car, he came down pit road and he put on 2 tires. That got him up to 3rd spot. So, depending on what Allgaier does right here, Brandon Jones on 2 tires, picked up some spots, gambled a little bit. Let's see if he can take advantage of that, Marty.
And an interesting move, they went with left side tires on the 19, and I believe 98 of Riley Herbst, they took right side tires. He has a vibration from that pit stop, so the 98's going to come down.
Allgaier to pit road, of course. He had no choice. Harrison Burton to pit road, no choice. So Josh Berry will stay out and be the leader again.
And it's consistent with how they played the last move. They weren't going to win the race, so what did they do? Came down and
Bold strategy for Allgaier. He was making one hell of a go of it before that caution. Because Josh Berry ran his ass down, but he was holding him off.
You're not going to be able to hold them off. Just bring it down. We'll put on the 4 fresh tires we have left. See what you can do.
Oh, boy. Are you nervous? Because I'm nervous.
Heart's beating out of the chest, guys.
Dale Jr. admits that he's nervous. nervous. Hey, I hope Josh Berry wins it. Nail one good restart and hope everybody behaves themselves. I'm pacing around the room.
Left, and it's pretty cool to explore. That's my favorite part, getting down on the ground and walking around and seeing what's left of these old racetracks. We see the field not getting the one to go there, so
Dale Jr.'s like, God damn it, can we get the one to go? Who do I think will win the Xfinity Championship? Austin Cindric.
Talking about how important they would be. Right off the start, Austin Cindric on the bottom, sideways underneath A.J. Allmendinger. Great save. Then watch the 22. Drove it straight through the middle. Austin Cindric saying, hey, it didn't work early, but I'm going to make it work now. Right to the middle, 4 wide, into turn 1, took the lead. And then the big wreck. Contact down the back straight away. Tons of cars got into it, took a lot of the contenders out. Kind of changed the face of this race. Now we got one with a win on the line. What will they do now?
And we hate to keep hammering on that inexperience, but Josh has never been in this position where he's controlling a restart at a 2-mile racetrack on used tires with late race restart. I mean, this is what this is the position you want to be in. This is what he's dreamed of all his life. Let's listen in.
Well, get ready to go on this thing. Just focus on your marks here. You've been the guy here this last half of the race, so just you hit your marks. You'll drive away from these guys. There.
So for me, Josh Berry has tons of experience on restarts on short tracks, right? And honestly, it's no different. It's all about the launch right here. You've done it. Gosh, how many late model races he won? It's been a ton of them. Do the same thing. And then get to turn 1 and drive like you have all day long. Like, don't overthink this thing. Just go do what you've been doing your entire career.
Well, starts right here at the choose. I would think for sure the one with
Outside line.
confirm that's what he's thinking.
Outside line. Thank you, Josh Berry. Allmendinger goes to the inside. He'll be on the front row. But Berry will have Brandon Jones, Noah Gregson behind him.
I'll put him second row on those fresh tires. So you say it's no different. And I understand through the Geico restart zone it's no different. But Junior, middle of 1 and 2 and exit of 2, it's going to be way different. I mean, it's going to be, for Josh Berry, I'm saying, with Arrow, with 2 wide, 3 wide, it's going to have to be a little different. But I think he's in the preferred start. And he has, in my opinion, the best car.
Well, my point is, if he does everything like he does on a Saturday night in his late model, he'll enter turn 1 just fine. It won't be a problem. If he just gets that launch the way he knows he can, then they're not going to be able to take the fight to him. He's going to be clear of him. So that, to me, is what his focus should be.
Big news with an NFL Hall of Famer earlier today becoming a car owner. What how about this? Little basketball Hall of Famer Ben Wallace checking it out. He's going to check out the finish of this. It's going to be great.
Said, you guys are ahead of me, so I'm not looking at your comments. Today, it's like you guys are way ahead of me. I don't like it.
Right down the road for 9 years. Tough player.
Here we go. Going to take cars on the lead lap, but that caution allowed Joe Buford for 48 to get the lucky dog the way around, and he's going to...
Well, we got a clusterfuck back here for position on the lineup. I don't know if that's going to affect the restart. No, they sorted out. May God help us all. I can't look at the comments because you guys are ahead.
Rolling up on the restart.
And there's still a clusterfuck back there for position, but it's in the back, so who cares? Go Josh, go Josh, go Josh, go Josh. Brandon Jones spun the tires. Allgaier's giving a great push to Allmendinger. That's not what we need, Justin. Son of a bitch. Well, Allmendinger got the fucking lead out of it. And Josh Berry overdrove the fucking corner. But Josh Berry's got a big run off the top. Come on, Josh. Come on, Josh. That looked like it was going to be bad, but that outside line just means so much. And Allgaier ended up back in 10th place. So Josh Berry has the lead for now. Allmendinger into second. Brandon Jones third. 4 laps to go.
the one car, Josh Berry.
Allmendinger made a great run at it with the push from Allgaier. It's going to be hard to pass Josh Berry now. Man, AJ right there. He might be close enough to get him loose. Josh Berry's car's not gripping. It's not gripping. It's really loose off of 2. And now they're fucking side by side. Don't you give the fucking win to dumbass Brandon Jones. Come on. Son of a bitch. Allmendinger got the lead. God damn it. And now there's a caution. Well, Josh Berry's fucked now. Allmendinger got the lead. We got a bad wreck in the back with the 99.
Looks like the 99. Jesse Little, the 74. Bailey Curry.
I knew that caution was bad news for Josh Berry. I'm with Junior. It's just inexperience. He didn't need to be put on a short run.
Contact to the front of that car.
Oh, well.
It looked like
Jesse Little took a hard fucking hit from the look of it.
Barry gets up the racetrack, just chasing the back of the car. Actually had to lift off the gas to avoid hitting the wall on the exit of 2. And that
Once again, back markers wreck, and now we're going to have an overtime because the cars in 40th place don't know how to drive.
Jesse Little as he climbs out of the car. Let's take a look and see how this.
I could tell Josh Berry's car just went through turn 2 that last time with 0 fucking grip.
Already loose and sideways. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. Down the track.
You know, I think the only thing that slowed down the 99 there was clobbering the 74.
Inside wall. You hate to see that. Oh, gosh.
And then he burst into flames.
Got to the back of. Lots of contact. Hate to see that for Jesse Little. These guys, these teams don't have a lot of finance, don't have a lot of money. That's a big hit for those guys to be ready for next week.
Let's go back to the restart right here. Rearing organized on the bottom. A great push from Allgaier to Allmendinger. The one gets the.
I thought Berry lost the race on the restart, but it worked out great, and then he just really couldn't hold it wide open through turn 2. Gave the race away. And then Allgaier on the bottom nearly wiped out Ty Gibbs.
Really surprised me to be able to get back to the outside of the 16. AJ generous with the room there. He could have took the line away.
At this point, I think it's
Yeah, Ty Gibbs is back in this. I thought that penalty he had under green would have put him a lap down.
Allmendinger able to carry so much speed into the corner and then get right to the left for a corner panel of Josh Berry and get him up the racetrack.
You can see Josh loose right there, and he has to lift as he chases the car up the racetrack.
Well, they told Josh to hit his marks. That was not hitting your marks. That was almost hitting the wall.
He goes to the bottom. Just like that, Josh Berry goes from first to what we thought was second. It's going to end up being third at the time.
They got him scored in third?
In front of Josh Berry.
Son of a
That's big for the
bitch.
shoes now because, you know, Allmendinger, he's going to choose the top. I assume Brandon Jones is taking the top. So, all right, Dale Jr., owner, and analyst.
If I can get Josh Berry on the bottom with a push from Noah Gregson, I'd be very confident.
I think if you're Josh Berry, you're going to go to the inside.
You're going to have to go, whatever gets me to the front row, I guess. Inside's almost a death sentence. But if you get a good enough push, it can work.
On this inside line.
He can clear him and slide job him in turn 2 if it works. It's all about who's pushing him and what kind of push he gets.
If he lines up in the outside line in the third lane, that takes away his chance to win.
I think if he lines up in the outside lane, his intent is to be way up in that really dark compound. We haven't seen other drivers get there. So if you see him go to the top, it's because he believes the other guys aren't. And he's going to try to take that top lane and get on the outside of them. I'm like you. You have to see with the two guys in front of you. But if they leave that bottom open, go take it.
The guy leading the race right now was in the bottom lane on the last restart, AJ Allmendinger. We'll see how these guys change when we come back.
I am nervous, but now I'm just deflated because I don't think Josh Berry's going to win now. Well, I could always do with more. I gotta pee, but it's too late now. Holding it till the end of the race. I think Josh Berry needs to pick the inside line because he's third, and I would imagine Brandon Jones is going to pick. Unless, of course, if Brandon Jones for some reason goes to the inside to get next to AJ, then Josh should go to the outside. But if AJ, and I know AJ will, if Brandon Jones goes to the outside with AJ, Josh needs to go to the bottom. Don't hit the fucking shoes box, whatever you do. I think Cindric being out of this race led to it being exciting, because if Cindric was still running, I feel like he would have just dominated.
Next is Premier Lacrosse League quarterfinal playoff action. Whip Snakes versus the Redwoods. And then after that, IndyCar Series racing from the Worldwide Technology Raceway. Will Power is on the
IndyCar Gateway.
Will Power got his first win of the season last week in Indianapolis. Joined us on Motor Mountains on Wednesday. So it was a great time. And that right there is Wampler Lake just down the road in Jerry's Pub. Circled on the calendar for great racing in Michigan. If you want a great place to hang out, I suggest Jerry's. A+.
May have spent a few hours in there.
I have. Not yet this trip. But this
We're still not at the fucking one to go. Don't know why.
Parker.
That looks fun, guys. I look forward to that. Hey, catch up here with Mike Bumgarner, who's the crew chief on the one car. Your inexperienced driver there had a great restart as the leader. What are you telling him now in his current position?
Josh has got plenty of experience. I don't need to tell him a whole lot, but just testament to these guys here on the one team. You know, we've been through a lot this year and swapping things around. And you know, today with having a guy like Josh, you just let him go. He'll figure it out, and he's done that all day long. We passed the most cars today, so we'll see what happens here. Anything can happen.
So which lane you want him in, top or bottom here?
He's obviously we want the top, but he's probably going to get closest to the front. So we'll see. I think
Closest to the front's what I want.
It's interesting, so we'll see what happens.
Definitely will be interesting, Marty.
Parker, what an incredible last restart for AJ Allmendinger. I want to check in with Matt Collick to see if trophy hunting is still on the agenda today. So is that the only thing that you're worried about? Because it was one thing to say in the Cup race last week, there's a championship on the line in this series.
Well, there is, and we are trophy hunting, and we just find ourselves, again, right at the end of the race, leading the race and seeing what happens. So we're here at Michigan, they're restarting. I'll take AJ Allmendinger all day.
All right, how are the nerves right now?
AJ outside, Jones outside, Josh Berry inside. Josh Berry's fucked. The next car on the inside with him's Moffitt. I'd have felt better if Gibbs or Gregson got behind Josh on the bottom, but Josh is fucked now. AJ's got it. I don't trust the pushers behind Josh Berry like I trust the ones behind AJ. Hopefully Brandon Jones will go 3 wide to the outside and put AJ in a bad spot and give Josh a chance. Remember, you guys are way ahead of me, so watch your fucking comments, please, in case I accidentally glance at them.
He's good. Yeah, he's on it for sure. Second half of the season he seemed to really figure it out.
Good compliment from a veteran in this sport, 2 veterans, Chris Rice and AJ. We are in overtime. Presented by Credit One Bank.
I hate that Josh lost this fucking race.
Green, come back and see the white. If we get a caution before the white, we'll do it again. Once we see the white flag, any flag will end the race.
Really interesting situation. We know Josh Berry. We know how bad he wants to win. He's on the bottom. Then behind him, Brandon Jones hasn't won a race this year. Brett Moffitt lining up. He's not won a race. In the 98, Riley Hurts. He's not won a race this year. We know how hungry the 54 of Gibbs is. Then Noah, a lot of guys in the front of this back with a ton to go try to get right here.
This is the go where they're not restart. 2, 3 wide, they're going to be everywhere.
Oh boy.
19 spun his tires on the last restart on that outside line. Not able to help. Josh Berry, can he help? AJ Allmendinger clear.
AJ, Josh Berry, Brett Moffitt, Brandon Jones. Great push on the outside for AJ from Brandon Jones. No push on the bottom for Josh Berry. None whatsoever. Josh Berry will be lucky to get a top 10 at this rate. That fucking sucks. I'm so goddamn mad. AJ gets away with it. Jones second, Gibbs third, Josh Berry back to fourth.
Over Jones, Ty Gibbs up in the resin. He's
Ty Gibbs way high trying to find a way around Brandon Jones. Oh, we got a caution off of 4. Caution off of 4. The 78 car stopped as AJ's coming to the fucking white flag. A back marker stopped. What a fucking stupid ass caution. Once again, a car that's like 30th. That's the second caution in a row of somebody who's not even remotely a factor.
So let's take a look and see.
What a ridiculous caution.
Car is parked down in turns 1. Oh gosh.
Oh, he got hooked by somebody back there.
So no, it did not just blow up. I wonder if the car broke.
Well, Josh Berry has even less of a chance to win now.
And they got pushed or hit. There's nowhere to go for the following car.
I don't care that he got turned in the wall by another fucking back marker. That's what happened. Back markers ruining this fucking race. I was just blaming the wrong one. But it's still a fucking car in 30th not knowing how to drive.
I gotta get steering wheel put back on. So I wonder, I mentioned it on the restart previous to this.
Nah, he's just going to get out and make him have to take the time to come out here and tow this piece of shit car away.
Very organized. There needs to be a point, I think, when if Brandon doesn't recognize it, either he gets information from his spotter.
I was ready to say good win AJ, but of course he gets fucked by back marker traffic.
Encourage him to make that type of move. I think that is the
Got to give God's favorite race car driver there in 3rd place another chance to get lucky and win one.
in his career is to be able to make those moves that are going to give him that victory. I agree. They accelerated well out of the restart zone, but the shape of
There was so not a fucking push on that inside line. It was pathetic. It was pathetic, the lack of push on that inside line.
Even if it doesn't work, you have to say, you know what, I'm here for the win. Turn right and try to get to his quarter panel and make the move around. We saw the 54 do it earlier and make the top work. You know, if the 54 is in that position, he would have went there. No doubt. That's where I think Brandon Jones needs to trip that. You see, guys, right after this, Premier Lacrosse League quarterfinal playoff action, and then the IndyCar Series race. After that,
Boy, this shit just annoys me. Excessive overtimes get very annoying.
once we wrap up
Because the race should be over.
So now, where's Josh Berry's brain? Right? He was leading us.
Josh Berry has no chance at winning this fucking race unless the top 3 wreck each other, and 2 of them are teammates, so that won't happen.
Thinking right now, I want him to just stay aggressive, right? Just stay aggressive here. What lane do you go to? I don't know. I think you gotta, you just gotta. If you're gonna win a race, you gotta try something different. But that top lane has just been so good.
If I can't be front row, then I'm taking the top. I don't think second on the inside row is a good place to be. If I can't be front row, well, then I'm taking the top. We saw Cindric take the lead from row 3 on a 3-wide move through the middle, so it can be done. We're going to get one more here. We didn't get the one to go, so we've had a pretty awesome race, and we're going to have an amazing finish. Next week, though, Friday night, the Xfinity Series will be under the lights.
Daytona!
Favorite racetracks. Daytona.
Daytona's one of Junior's favorite racetracks. I could have never imagined that. I've got like 4 diecast cars sitting next to me that are Daytona wins. So yeah, you mean to tell me Daytona's one of Dale Jr.'s favorite tracks?
Daytona, Darlington, Richmond, Bristol sets the regular season. So, pressure-packed fun racing on Friday, super pressure-packed on Saturday. I cannot wait to get back to Daytona. It seems like forever since we've last been to that racetrack. So, looking forward to seeing the cars race there.
NASCAR did such a great job with this schedule. They made the cut race for the cut cars Daytona. We know how crazy Daytona is. They made it for Bristol for the Xfinity cars. So 2 of our most exciting racetracks are racing. Your last chance to get yourself in the playoffs.
All right, so we're going to have AJ Allmendinger coming around to the choose. He's going to take the top. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind, right? All right, Brandon Jones, I think you have to take the top, right?
He did it last time, got a great start. I think he'd do it again.
Ty Gibbs, I think, is going to the bottom. They leave the bottom. You know that. Front row and the bottom. And then, if I'm Barry, I'm back to the top.
God's favorite race car driver in 3rd place. What kind of chance does he have?
You can win from the first spot on the bottom. I don't believe you can win from inside the 2nd row. Once this race concludes, we're going to have the winners interview for all of the interviews post-race, including interviews from those involved in the accident earlier today.
AJ outside, Jones outside, Gibbs outside. Josh Berry to the end. Go with him, Noah. There you go. All right, Berry's got Noah behind him now. That's a better pusher. I would like to have Noah pushing me. I never thought I'd say that, but yeah. Allmendinger, Jones, Gibbs, Moffitt, and Allgaier went outside, and then Josh Berry and Noah Gragson went to the bottom. I think it's a better push than Moffitt was going to give Josh Berry.
We saw the initial start of the race. Ty Gibbs went 3 wide, 4 wide, up at that.
And behind Noah, Riley Herbst.
That outside lane's got to be aggressive to block, but also to try to take the spot in front of.
What you got down there, Marty?
Let's talk to Jeff Mandarin real quick. Crew chief for Brandon Jones.
I'm going to have so much false hope when Noah gives Josh a good push, but then that outside line's just going to hammer down through the center of the corner off, and they'll blow Josh Berry's doors off.
We needed to, but the young supply company super has been really good all race. We finally got the position we need, so I think Brandon can pull it off. We'll see what happens.
And you guys are right. They reminded him, hey, watch out for that 54 behind you as well. But they did encourage him, hey, let's be a little more aggressive on this restart. The other thing Brandon said, he fired off way tighter on that run than he expected to. I mean, interesting final restart here in Michigan.
Allmendinger, Josh Berry, Noah Gragson, Brandon Jones, Riley Herbst, Ty Gibbs.
Because if they stick together, if Noah commits to his teammates,
Come on, Noah.
the second and third guy on the outside
I
lane
need you,
jump
Noah.
off, that may hurt momentum out of the outside lane. Which lane's going to get organized first? As they close in on the Geico restart zone.
Josh Berry waving out the window to get the push from Noah. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. Never mind. Josh has the nose out front, but here comes that big run from the outside that's just going to fucking kill him. Oh, Josh, hang on. And Ty Gibbs just got wrecked into the wall. Caution's out again. And I think Josh Berry was in second. I think Josh Berry might have had a nose in front of Brandon Jones for second place at the time of caution. And we're just going to be here all fucking night. I got a Falcons game to watch in about 45 minutes. Can we fucking get us move on here? Oh my God. It's so fucking stupid when these races end up like this.
All right, let's go back and see what happened. We talked about it. Everybody was going to get aggressive. Ty Gibbs and outside.
Gibbs just pushing too hard. Got too high and lost it by himself. Hit the right rear into the wall, came down, spun out again, and luckily only hit the wall. He didn't hit anybody else.
Had a lot of success being aggressive, right? That's what's gotten him here. Just overstepped his bounds just a little bit right there.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Young guy, man. It's a young guy.
You got to race to your signature, right? You can't have someone you're not. Right now on the big boy camera here, Riley Herbst watching the 54 car. Ty Gibbs getting loose out there. You know, I think it's a good time to point out a great run for Riley Herbst in the 98, right? We see the one sliding up the racetrack, the 54 gets loose. That 98 of Riley Herbst, we know Annette's out in the Drivers' Championship currently. He has to take advantage of this, and he's currently 43 points above the cut line. That's good work from the driver of the 98. We see some big accidents today, and he's avoided them all.
That right there for Ty Gibbs, you know, to crash in front of the field and that be the only car that got involved, pretty surprising.
Yeah, the big shock of the day was that was a one-car accident.
There's the points right now as they run, and you can see Herbst 43 up on Michael Annette. And he hasn't gained any points today in the stages. So in stage, well, he actually got a few points there in stage 2, but just 1 point. So this finish is critical. He needs to get this car home in one piece in the top 10, maybe the top 5. Let's listen to some one audio with Josh Berry.
Well, at least I know now that at least if I have a little bit of help, I can do this. Because I was beginning to wonder.
So they're saying Brandon Jones is going to be second. I thought Josh Berry would be second. So Josh Berry's still not going to win. If he could get a big push from Noah again, they're talking on the radio trying to get Noah to go with him. Ironically, he's the one taking Noah's job next year, I'm pretty sure.
Wants to win the race for the 9. 9 was behind the number 1. We'll see what happens when they get to the choose line, guys.
Yeah, that's 9 of Noah. Yeah. I mean, Noah, the start of this year was horrible. I don't think it could have gone any worse. I mean, he hit a lot of stuff.
Hey, Noah, you want to be useful for once?
But over these last several races, Noah Gregson has gotten his feet underneath him. He's gained a lot of points, got a lot of top 10s. Just not, we don't hear a lot of noise from them, but they're doing well. They're getting that consistency back. And here he is, sitting there at the end of this race in 4th spot with a chance to win. And, you know, this team, I know early didn't look like it, but this team, if they can get some playoff points, they can be a contender for this championship.
I'm telling you, if I'm Noah, though, I have a hard time lining up in the inside line in the second row.
Junior, shut up. Radio to Noah now and tell him to go wherever the 1 car goes. Team orders, Junior. Exercise your right. You're a car owner.
Of Algar, and he was up in the front 2 rows and faded all the way back outside the top 5 by the time I got to turn 3. So I just think that you aren't doing
Can't wait till this race is over at midnight.
kind of a good position.
And we're still not getting the 1 to go. Because of course we're not. I got to go to the fucking bathroom. I'll be right back.
To say, I'm going to take care of myself. I know that's my teammate, but it's what's important is what's for my car. Where do I need to put my car? And having that confidence to say, I'm making this call for me and my team and not Junior Motorsports. He's got to have that confidence to make that call.
Well, as we ride another lap here, for cleanup continuing, you think today's good. Wait until tomorrow, the Cup Series at Michigan. It's going to be great.
Michigan is the center of speed for our cars. So fast. And when you feel the speed there, racing at Michigan is very challenging. Michigan is a track that there really is nothing like on the NASCAR circuit.
Tomorrow, there's the scheduled 2 p.m. NASCAR America pre-race, and they count down the green at 2:30, 3 o'clock. Cup Series racing from Michigan International Speedway, and then you don't want to miss NASCAR America post-race at 6 o'clock. Full day NASCAR Cup Series action. Be a lot of fun. I think that race is going to be much different than this because of the different package and power and downforce and so forth, plus what we've seen from this resin. I've liked what I've seen from it. It's given guys an opportunity in a 3rd groove. Traditionally, these cars run in the bottom and the middle of the racetrack, but that is absolutely providing.
Yeah, Junior says he thinks tomorrow's race will be different. That's a nice way of saying it'll be worse.
This car is going to have tons of downforce. They're going to have more grip than these cars do. It'll make it work even better.
Well, it looks like Noah's trying to figure out what Noah's going to do. We feel pretty confident Josh Berry's going to go to the inside here, the 19. Joel's going to stay with AJ. There you have it.
Oh, Josh.
Surprises us all. He's like, I'm done.
Allmendinger, Brandon Jones, Josh Berry on the outside. Noah, Herbst, Allgaier, Bubba on the bottom. Bubba Wallace back on the lead lap after all this chaos.
Take this race win away from AJ lining up on the inside of row 1. He has
Well, now I know Josh Berry has no chance, but now I'm worried that Noah's going to have a chance. I don't want that.
That's Noah. They grew up together in Las Vegas. They got involved in racing together. They hang out together, so that 98.
Well, now I've got to cheer for AJ, which is not a problem. I like AJ.
And with this overtime, this officially becomes the longest Xfinity race here at Michigan. Fun fact, you know who won the other longest race ever here?
Oh, yeah? Really? That's cool. Look at that rundown, man.
Sounds like everybody else wrecked.
I want to mention some names. Moffitt, Buford, Wallace, Bubba, Mills, Sieg.
There, Jeff Burton Jr. won that race because he ran over Carl Edwards, and I'm proud of him for doing it.
Solid runs today. We've had a lot of attrition.
To this day, I'm still proud of Dale Jr. for running over Carl Edwards. That two-faced bastard. All right, AJ, I'm cheering for you now. My Josh Berry dreams were over many laps ago. I don't know why I was still holding on to that.
We know how aggressive he has been in his career. I don't see any reason why that should stop right now. If he can get a great launch, get a push from Riley, he's going to sail that thing into turn 1.
Hurry up and get this race over with. Lacrosse is coming on.
Chaos with that cause.
All these overtime restarts have aged about 5 years from the last 15 minutes.
We just had to sit here and watch Junior Motorsports lose any chance they had at winning. And sadly now, their only hope is on the biggest dipshit in the whole garage.
Noah Hopin, then Riley.
All right. Much better push on the outside, and they've already just about cleared Noah. Yeah. Allmendinger, Jones, slot in front of Noah. Jones shoves Allmendinger into the corner. Allmendinger goes wide, but he's still carrying a lot of speed. We got a smoker in the back. Allmendinger still in front of Jones. Noah third, Josh Berry fourth. I think AJ's going to take it now. He got through 1 and 2. He's well out in front. Brandon Jones going higher. Josh Berry going even higher than that, looking for speed. Off of 4. White flag. Thank fucking God we got the white flag. AJ Allmendinger out front. I hate that Josh Berry should have won this race and didn't get to, but it happens. AJ runs a little lower. Jones goes a little higher. What kind of run does Jones get down the back? Not enough. Harrison Burton next to Josh Berry for 4th. AJ leads him into 3. Off of 4. Ding, ding, ding. AJ Allmendinger wins again. AJ Allmendinger is winning more than he ever has. Like I said earlier in the race, he's living a charmed life these days. Everything's coming up AJ.
What a run for college racing coming out of Indy with a cup win.
AJ's finally getting the good karma he deserves.
Riding the momentum into Michigan. His 3rd win this season. His 2nd on an oval, his 8th career win. Holly's 11th career win.
I don't think AJ's done winning cup races yet. I think next year he's going to win cup races. Hell, he did last week. AJ's a winner, man.
He's invested, he's put everything he could into it. They started big.
Triple overtime, AJ wins.
The last 6 days, fully committed to full-time Cup Series competition next year. Continuing.
I still think AJ should be the full-time driver for Colleague and Cup next year, but that's another story. And I like Colleague's chances to win again next week. I'll probably pick a Colleague car at Daytona.
Brings experience and he's brought them wins.
That race was way too fucking long for a lot of stupid reasons. I'd like to thank Jeb Burton and the 10 team for costing Josh Berry a win. You're a fucking asshole, but good for AJ. I like AJ just as much as I like Josh Berry. Spider Dinger climbing the fence. AJ Allmendinger is a different kind of driver.
After AJ Allmendinger won the Cup Series race in Indianapolis, he stuck around overnight, and then before
Damn Xfinity drivers winning those Cup races.
He went back to the Brickyard to kiss the bricks one more time, and he ran into a group of fans, a lot like you all up here, and they all took pictures with the winner that day. You want to stick around and take pictures here all night?
Yeah, I'm gonna go kiss. No, I'm not gonna kiss the start finish line, bud. Wow. What a hell of a 6 days. Oh my goodness. This is what's awesome though. They have all the fans back. Indy last weekend was spectacular. Michigan, thank you, God. You guys make it fun. Oh man. Thanks for Ramco Specialties. Might have to get more of them to sponsor it, you know, because 2 races, 2 wins. So Ramco, let's get some more races on this car, but. Woo. I'm more tired from the celebrations than I am from driving.
We can understand. We know you're pushing that 4-0 mark. Not yet. So many times there were lines to choose. There were places to go here. How'd you guys make the right calls all day?
Love you, AJ.
much, guys. I mean, when you were restarting on the front row, the outside was the place to be. The problem is you just gotta hope you got pushed. Brandon Jones, thank you so much, because he pushed me every time. My spotter Frank Daniel, oh my goodness, he was driving the car for me, basically behind me. Man, I can't thank all the men and women at Colleague Racing enough. Matt Colleague, all of our partners, Hyperice, Leaf Filter, Leaf Home Solutions, Ellsworth Advisors, Nutrient Ag, everybody that's been a part of this. As I said, this is the second race with Ramco in the car, second win, so, man, baby, I love you, Tara, so much. Thank you so much.
I love hearing people chant AJ's name, man.
I don't want to wake up from this dream.
Michael, I'm just pissed that Josh Berry didn't win. As happy as I am for AJ, I'm just as pissed that Josh Berry didn't win. Triple overtime bullshit. Ding, ding, ding. All right, boys and girls, I'm going to call it a day. And I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Cup race at 3 o'clock. I think it's 3 o'clock, so keep an eye out for me. This was fun, I guess. Frustrating at times, but fun. Have a good night, guys. Here's hoping we win some money tomorrow. Michael, I'll text